All right. Salute to everybody in the chat. Thank you for stopping by. Let me say what's up to a few people. I see we got Durden. What's up, Durden? Wusaka Wilder. What's going on, bro? You were speaking some facts on the BDA earlier. Yes. Thank you. Brandon Blanco. Salute. Salute to El Frog. MXBC versus Thunderdome. Oh boy. I don't even want to know about that. We got L Dog. L Dog and L Frog. Uh-oh. L Dog wants all that smoke. That's what he was telling me earlier in the Discord chat. Salute to Rat Pack's Trucking Company. And to the man, Slugger Sam. What's going on, Slugger? All right. Thank you guys for stopping by. So as you guys know, the Crawford and Porter fight got signed, and it looks like it's going to be for the November the 12th. So the question is, I titled it, "Is this the best opponent Crawford he's going to fight, right, throughout his whole career?" I'm going to say it is, right? You can make an argument, maybe Postal, but is Postal at 140 as good as Porter at 147? In my opinion, I don't think so. But Postal was a good fight, and at least in my opinion, Crawford kind of put up a lackluster performance. But make no mistake about it, he's looking to. I'm assuming he signed this fight to make a statement, right? Fighting a guy like Sean Porter, who's been in really good fights. He's fought Kell Brook, a fight that I thought he clearly lost, right? But it was competitive, something like 7-5 or 8-4. But it's a fight that I thought he lost. When you go to the other fights that he's got a lost on his record, Keith Thurman and Earl Spence, I thought he could have won those fights. I actually thought that he could have won both of those fights. It could have went either way. I thought he beat Keith Thurman, and Spence. When I first watched it, I thought he won more rounds, even though he got dropped. I think in the 11th round, and you could say if you want to say that was the difference, I won't argue with you, because I watched that fight several times and thought it could have went either way. But those were fights that he definitely could have lost. And so, Crawford does have he kind of has a good chance to make a statement against Sean Porter, especially if he can win convincingly, right? If all this talk about him being pound for pound number one, then a good fighter like Sean Porter, he should be able to shine, right, and win that fight. Now, that's not my expectations of Crawford. I'm not sitting here saying he needs to go in there and blow Sean Porter out. He just needs to go in there, fight, and obviously try to win the fight. I don't view him as the best pound for pound fighter in the world. So those are not my expectations. And so we'll see what happens. Hopefully that fight goes through. It happens. There's no interruptions, and we'll see if Crawford could make easy work of Sean Porter. I'll be impressed if he actually does. When Porter was going into his fight with Spence, there were a lot of people that felt that were Spence fans, mainly like fanboys, that he would knock out Sean Porter. And I remember thinking, I don't think so, but if he does, that would be impressive, right? I kind of knew that was going to be a difficult, hard fight for Spence, and it turned out that way. So, will I be shocked if he goes in there and gives Crawford a hard fight, a fight that he can, actually win? I'm not going to be surprised at all. Actually, I'm probably expecting that. But wait till the fight starts to come, and then I'll give more of a prediction of who I think is going to win. But as of right now, it's a very good fight on paper. We'll see. Sean Porter has a very deep resume in the welterweight division in terms of where he's at with the PBC. He's fought all those top guys, all the guys you're talking about. Ugas, he fought Spence, he fought Danny Garcia, he fought Keith Thurman, he fought Kell Brook. Okay, that's a very deep resume for the welterweight division today. All right, so I see I got a few people. What's up, brother Jack Kyle? Yes, that's what I'm saying, man. I would be very shocked if he went in there and stops Porter. It'd be impressive, man. It'd be very impressive if he could do that. That's the same thing I said about Spence. I didn't think he was going to knock out. I didn't think Spence would knock out Porter. I had a feeling it was going to be one of those tough fights, but let's see what happens with this one. John Gonzalez, salute. All right, guys, you know what? I'm going to start dropping the link in the chat. And you know the deal. We could talk about this topic. We could talk about anything else. We just go with the flow here. Yes. Brandon Blanco. I'm also in the same situation as Jed. I would be surprised if Porter gets stopped. Yeah. It'd be impressive, if he can win. I'm not saying he has to stop him, but let's say he clearly wins the fight. He clearly wins something like 8-4. He separates himself from Sean Porter. That would be an impressive win. We got L Dog. We got Brandon Blanco. Salute. What's up, guys?
Yo, what's good? Shout out to Recognize, shout out to Brandon Blanco, aka biracial racist.
Damn. I never heard of that, but that's impressive.
That's his Discord name, bro. I'm telling you. This guy keeps denying it, bro, but I'm telling you it's him, man.
I don't know. I heard him, but
what's it on the BDA? Yeah, he's on the BDA Discord. That's the same guy.
No, you might be wrong about that. What's up, Brandon Blanco? I can't hear you. Can you hear him, L-Dog?
Hey, he's sitting up his voice changing now, huh?
So what do you think about this fight, L-Dog?
Yeah, it's actually a pretty good fight. I'm excited for it. I think Crawford's going to win. I think he'll win better than anyone has done against Porter, but I think it'll still be a good fight.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you, man.
This might even be Porter's last fight.
He's had so many tough fights, bro. I could see that.
Yeah, if he loses this fight, where does he go? He can't. Surely he won't be competitive at 154. He can't go to 140. So what's he gonna do?
Yeah, he wasted his. I don't want to say wasted, but he spent his whole career at welterweight, and he's fought all the top guys, and so far it looked like he's come up on the short end, right? On except one, two, Danny Garcia and Ugas. So,
I thought he lost to Ugas,
but still, he got the win, right?
Yeah, he got the win.
Like you always tell me, right? You always say
he got the win.
He got the win, so the win is the win.
That's what matters, dude. To be honest, what matters is getting that win and getting that belt and moving on.
What's up, Durden?
What's up?
Yeah, what's good, Durden?
Yeah, man.
I'm at the drive-through right now, so sorry, man.
Hey, what you getting?
Shit. Yeah. What are you getting?
Chicken McNuggets. Late night snack.
Yeah. You should have gone to In-N-Out, bro. You're in Cali.
Don't you guys have still Jack in the Box?
Bro. Yeah, it's right next to it too, but I don't know. I'm just craving this because I don't have anything to eat in my house.
What about El Pollo Loco?
It's on the other side of town. It's a good 5 mile drive.
Damn, I love that. Tried it when I was out there. Good.
Oh yeah, all that shit's good, man.
Hey, what was the first pick?
The first pick?
Yeah, the one that Fight Scout's talking about.
What was his first pick? Oh, he's talking about his pro. This one. I'll show you.
Oh, you mean a fucking Solzhenitsyn?
That one?
I'll
Who's that?
change it. Hold on, I'll
Yeah.
change it. I don't know. He likes this pick.
Yeah. Who is that?
He was a Russian that I think it was like a Russian. Fuck, I don't know. I gotta look into it more. I don't know if he was like kind of on the pro Tsar side or something
That's what I was
during the
gonna say.
Bolshevik
Yeah.
Revolution, and he got like imprisoned in a gulag or something. And he wrote all these diaries while he's in a gulag that are kind of famous. It's called like 300 Years Together or something weird or some long ass
200
stuff I've
years.
never read myself, but he's like a symbol of I don't know, white identity, you know.
What's up, LT?
¿Qué onda? Recognize. What's up, my bros?
What's
El
good,
Dog.
LT? What's good?
What's good, El Dog? ¿Qué onda, Rosa?
Hey,
What's up, Dirty?
Who you got in the
What's
fight,
up, bro? What's the difference between you and G Funky?
G-Funky can't speak Spanish, homie.
Wait, he can't?
Just like 2 or 3 words. Shout out to him, ¿verdad? Pero...
Damn.
2, 3 words.
Oh, I know who you are now. Okay, I get you guys confused, man. You're the guy that like speaks Spanglish like nonstop.
Who do you think I was?
I don't know, G Funky and LT. I think I got you guys. I don't know if you're the guy that's like, hey, G Funky, what's up,
Nah,
man?
man, no mames.
That's you.
That's D style.
That's the... No sé, pero that's not me, homie. No soy yo. You
while
guys
we're
are
here,
the
man.
ones that come on my panel and troll me with your fucking dick pics.
That's
I
not
don't
You know
me,
how many
bro.
fucking
That's
videos
not
I had
me.
to take down?
I don't know what
Hey,
that is, man.
hey, dude, there's nothing wrong with the dick pics. You just edit it out, dude. Relax. It's not a big deal. You just
Hey,
gotta do it real
but what
quick.
I want to say is this, dude. I've noticed since I jumped on this panel, it's been real quiet, man. You know, the Fight Scout, Anderson Aldo, Gerson Medina, Thunderdome, Precise, aka Precise Pretender, all them bitches been real quiet, man. So I wanna take this time
The
because I know all you
MSPC has
bitches are
voted to
listening,
take
man.
on some people.
No. Hold on, bro. Let me speak. I wanted to take this time to challenge each and every one of those guys that I named to a debate on the BDA Kumite.
Oh.
So if anyone has the balls, step up or forever
Hey, why give
remain
BDA
silent.
that clout? We can do that anywhere, dude. We don't have to do it there.
Wait, hold on. I got 17 people viewing and 15 likes. Come on, get them up.
2 more likes at least.
Anyway, LT, what do you think about this fight, bro?
¿Cuál, carnal? Which one, bro?
Well, it's two chilangos versus chilangos, you know.
Bro, I just jumped on the panel like, oh shit, he's live. Let me click on the link.
I mean chongos. My bad. My Spanish is bad, dude. Chongo versus chongo,
hey,
bro.
you get it. You got it. You got it. Changuitos. Which fight, bro?
Sean Porter.
All right, can you all hear me again?
Crawford.
Oh man, it's gonna be a really good fight, man, for sure. It's gonna be a really good fight. I'm not big on PC, so I don't want to talk shit about Sean Porter.
I see so many people. I see so many people.
But I mean, but to be like, you know, fair and square, yeah, man, it's gonna. I'm not gonna lie. I feel that.
I hope Crawford.
This is gonna be his first fight, like for Sean Porter at 147 division, like the real. You know what I mean? So let's see what this is all about, bro. Because
Porter's
there's a lot of
trash,
smoke
bro.
and
Porter
mirrors
I was
and
gonna
sucks.
say,
shit. Like I hear
Porter
because
sucks, man.
I'm like from a Mexican view, bro. Like I don't know, you know what I mean? Because like the PBC fanboys, they say, oh man, Sean Porter, like he's a shit. Like he went through a lot of warriors in 147 division, and that talk, and the Crawford fans are like, hey man, fucking Crawford. That's why everyone dug Crawford. You know what I mean? How easy is it? How easy is it? Like Sean Porter just jumped the side of the street like nothing, and the other guys were ducking, jump. You know what I mean? Like that kind of talk. So from a stamp, as a Mexican, we're like, I can't even remember names, bro. It's gonna be a good fight.
I see so
Porter
many
can't
people.
fight though. He sucks.
What do you guys think
Porter
about
hasn't
that
been.
take?
Hold
Porter
on,
Wait,
hold
go
just
on,
ahead,
doesn't
hold
Brandon.
on.
box by the
Hold on,
Queensberry
I want to
rules,
hear what
man.
Brandon has to say. Go ahead, Brandon. What are you gonna say?
I was gonna say that I see so many people on social media saying that Crawford is gonna beat him convincingly. He's gonna beat him so easily. I see
But
Johnny
I heard the
Boy.
same thing about Spence, right? Didn't you hear the same
Exactly.
thing? Yeah.
Exactly. So and also you have to recognize that Porter hasn't been beaten convincingly. I mean, all of his losses could have gone either
He
way. Like
sucks, bro. Like he doesn't fight fucking like by the rules. So how could you even give him any credit? He
that's
doesn't
your
do anything
opinion.
conventional.
That's your opinion. But in all honesty, nobody has beaten him convincingly. Not even Errol Spence. Not even not
I
even
guess when you get to headbutt people and shit, like yeah.
well, that's your opinion. That's your opinion. But in all honesty, I personally like Sean Porter. I'm gonna root him, but but I do think Crawford is gonna win in a competitive decision. I will be really surprised if Crawford stops Porter, and that if Crawford gets stopped, if Porter gets stopped, then that is a major statement by Terrence Crawford, and because he becomes the first guy to to beat Sean Porter convincingly. Like he fought everybody. Like you have to recognize he fought every welterweight. I mean, aside from Manny Pacquiao, like you have to recognize that.
He would have fought Pacquiao too. He'd have never punked out in the end.
Exactly, exactly. That's what I love about Sean Porter. He's willing to fight anytime, anywhere.
Yeah, it's because you can't box.
Oh my gosh,
I think he boxes pretty good,
I
honestly.
think he
It's just
does.
there's little things he does very subtle. He can jab pretty good. I like his jab. I just think that he makes it. Yeah, he likes to make it ugly because he's kind of rough. And the headbutting is like it's just the way he comes in. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Does he probably do it like I don't give a fuck if you run into my head type of thing? Yeah, probably. But this is gonna be a good fight for. Okay, what do you guys think? Do you think that this is Crawford's best opponent he's gonna fight to date?
No, I think
Absolutely.
Postal was. I think Postal was his best.
No, I disagree. I disagree because I mean, well, I think this is Porter. I think in kind of like what Recognize said, like Porter. I mean, yeah, I do. Porter, I'm not sure about. I'm not gonna talk trash about Victor Postal and anything, but I mean, I'm not sure if Postal. I mean, he fought Jose Ramirez. Well, they're kind of in the same level, but I kind of, yeah, it's hard. It's hard to say whether Porter is better than Postal. In all honesty, because I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's hard.
It's pretty close, right? It's like a pretty close comparison. But we saw
Nah,
what
Sean
happened.
Porter has a way better resume than Postol, and he would beat the dog shit out of Postol. Postol can't fight on the inside, and
But
there's no way he's gonna keep Sean Porter at bay.
We're talking about resume wise. We're talking about resume.
Resume is still not close, dude. Who has I mean, Postol's best win is
It's
Matisse,
Matisse.
whereas
Matisse.
who would you
But he
say is
also fought Sean. He also
who
fought
hold on,
Josh
hold on.
Taylor. Okay, go ahead.
Who would you say is Sean Porter's best win? I'd say it's the guy who beat Matisse. So Sean Porter has a better win. He's been a champion more times, and he's fought better opponents, dude. Like, yeah, he fought Taylor, he fought Ramirez, but Porter, I mean, shit, he fought Errol Spence, he fought Keith Thurman. So he's fought just as good names, if
Also,
not
Devin
better.
Alexander too. Devin, let's not
Yep.
forget he also fought Devin Alexander.
Adrian Broner, etc.
Yeah, he fought
Broner. Oh my
everybody.
gosh, Broner.
Hey, but he
He
fought
fought-
Broner when Broner was still like good.
And he fought everybody on that side of the street, right? I hate using that fucking term, but you get what I'm saying, right? Like on the PBC, Sean Porter went through the gauntlet, like all their guys there, all the guys that are being promoted by the PBC. He fought all of those dudes, including Ugas, the guy that technically has a win over Pacquiao.
Yeah.
I think I agree with you. I personally think Porter is the better opponent, but Postal is close in terms of at that time he was at 140. He was pretty close. He lost a close decision to Taylor
Josh Taylor and Jose Ramirez.
Ramirez was real close. That fight could have went either way.
I had Postal winning 8-4 against Jose Ramirez.
But what I'm saying is that in that fight, man, he looked terrible in that fight, man. In my opinion, he looked bad. He kind of, he didn't help himself with that performance, being that he sold, I think it was anywhere from like 30 to 50K pay-per-views. that fight was terrible. That fight was terrible, and it didn't do him any favors. So let's see what he could do now.
Like what as boxing fans, what do we benefit out of this? Like, I mean, it's I don't know if it's even any satisfaction or whatever the fuck the word I'm trying to say.
Oh my gosh.
Damn, I
You know what I
the
mean.
fucking word in my head. You know what I mean.
Come on, man. I'm like Joe Biden. Yeah,
You
man.
have to say,
Oh, man.
Nah, I mean.
You know the word.
Nah, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, but like, what do we get out of it? Like, just to hate on Crawford for like a dude like Porter? Like,
it's not.
Spence is already a bitch. I mean, we all know Spence is a bitch because he backed out of Pacquiao's fight, so that's already a win for us. Whether Ugas won, I don't give a shit. Like, it's a win for us because Pacquiao scared away the big dog, and Ugas wasn't really meant to be there, and that guy ain't shit.
Stop it, dude. Spence is injured.
Stop it. No, but it shows that Pacquiao won that fight pretty much. Basically, he didn't enter into the ring because Pacquiao was older and he was more healthier. Pacquiao didn't have no fucking eye injury.
Bro, that ain't how you score a fight, man.
L-Dog, technically.
No, but technically he didn't fucking
outlasted him. So he had.
How could he outlast him? The fight hadn't even started.
Put that on any sport. Let's say it's Super Bowl Sunday.
Pacquiao fans will do anything to make something a win.
L-Dog. All right, check it out. So they're getting ready
Super
for
Bowl
a fight.
Sunday's
They're
coming
sparring. This guy got hurt. Spence got hurt, so he outlasted him.
Stop that.
43.
If you have two running backs in the NFL, and like it's Super Bowl Sunday, and one guy's like, man, I can't run, and the other guy runs and he fucking shows up and he does a good job or whatever. Like the other running back is a bitch because he didn't show up. I don't care if he's knee hurt. This is the way it is. But like boxing, we give excuses for people.
Spitting facts.
Like when they're hurt.
He's spitting facts.
Like if they're sick, we make excuses. Or like even Ryan Garcia. I like Ryan Garcia, but it's like it's kind of a it's kind of an L for him to be like, oh, I'm mentally ill, I can't fight. Well, then you're not good enough to fight, man. Like you can't show up to the show. I mean, I don't know. Like
that's the dude, bro. How much have you been drinking, man?
3 beers. I'm gonna finish my last one. All right, relax.
Nothing wrong with that.
I'm gonna eat some food.
Nothing wrong with drinking 3 beers.
No, but I mean, do you not get my point though, L-Dog? I mean, we're brothers in the MXBC, but come on, like you're shitting on Pacquiao a little too much. And the point is, Porter.
Bro, you can't count a win because someone pulls out of a fight. I mean,
he outlasted.
I think that's an L for us, man. That's an L.
An L
for us on the a certain side of the spectrum of the YTBC,
You mean a W?
I mean a W, yeah. Like I'm saying, like it's a W for us that Logan Paul lasted 8 rounds against Floyd. Like Floyd's a bitch, you couldn't knock him out.
Hey, bro,
W.
I don't give moral
W.
victories, man. I don't give moral victories, participation trophies, none of
I
that.
do. I do, man.
If you guys want to give Pack his participation trophy, fine by
Fuck
me.
yeah,
He
for
got
a
his ass
40-year-old
whooped.
man.
He got his ass whooped for 12 rounds by
But
Ugas.
L-Dog,
He didn't get his ass
but
whooped.
did
That's
you
an
give
exaggeration. Come
moral
on.
victory to Filip Hrgovic even though he didn't win a gold medal in the Olympics? Then did you give him
No,
any?
no.
No. Oh, okay. I was just wondering because sometimes your standards change, but yeah.
That's that, dude. He didn't win the gold.
Let's be real here. Porter's being used to make Crawford look good, and Hyman's maybe willing to throw his boy out there, even though Andy Ruiz did knock out AJ, and he threw
He
that
is
guy
throwing
out there.
he is throwing political, like in terms of like it's an ESPN event, right? It's a Bob Arum thing.
Right.
So like if the fight's close, I know L Dog doesn't like talking about this, but we know who's going to.
Who?
Porter's
on, man.
being used, man. He's
More
not
than
meant
likely
to
it's
win.
going to
He's not meant
Crawford.
to win this. It's not.
Yeah, it'll go to Crawford.
I like to gamble on narratives. Like when it comes to pro sports, I do look at the skill factors, but I look at like what's the media narrative here? Like what do they want? What's the story they want to write? I mean,
What's the
unfortunately,
story
that's a
of the
factor.
fight?
That's a
What's the
factor,
story of the fight?
unfortunately. Like we don't like it, but it is a fact. Like they
L Dog,
will
you ever
negate
reimagine
the.
things? Got to reimagine stuff. You ever reimagine what you just saw?
Yeah, sometimes.
I know.
But hey, man, you got to I'm looking at some clips right now of Sean Porter training. This dude's training hard, man. He always comes in shape.
Yep.
If Sean Porter had power, bro, he would be fucking these dudes up.
Yeah, unfortunately, he doesn't. But it's like this Gavin Newsom election, right? The narrative's that the guy's gonna beat it, so the fix is kind of in. You know what I mean? Whether a lot of people don't want him to be don't want him to be governor no more. They already have it set up to where they want him to be the guy.
He's gonna.
And everybody voting against him is like a QAnon conspiracist. You know. That also tells you that we're in the minority here in California. Like, I think it's some like little less than 40% voted to recall him.
The whole
What's the population of the white population in California? It's like about 35%. And like that's literally like the recall percentage.
I was just gonna say that California politics is like Jerry Springer is what you see in Jerry Springer. I'm not sure if that's the same.
It's like Jerry Springer if like a fucking person showed up to the audience and just started
exactly.
machine gun or something. Because that's what's gonna happen eventually.
I'm not sure if that's the same over there in New York or like hell. I would rather go to Maury or.
Dude, New York might be more not down the middle, but a little bit more conservative than California. I could be wrong about that because
I mean I know upstate New York is a lot more conservative than New York.
Yeah, but
City.
California's like that too. California.
Yeah, that's true because I live in North Cal. North Cal is a lot more. Oh no. SoCal is a lot more. In some part of SoCal is a lot more conservative than North Cal. Yeah, although, yeah.
Yeah, no, it all depends, man. Even north or south, you can find places that are
right
or left, you know, depending on.
Right.
I think the south is more brown, I think, than the north.
Salute, Check, Kyle, my brother.
California is.
What's going on, my bro? What's up? What's going on, L Dog, dude? Brendan, what's up, lads?
What's up?
What's going on?
Jed? Hey, is Porter not being bait for Crawford, man? Is he not being like sold as like fish food for the crawfish?
I like. You don't like this fight?
I like this fight.
Yeah, I like.
A lot of people do, but
on paper,
you know,
it sounds good. You know,
this is pretty much one of the best fights of 2021 aside from Ramirez versus Taylor or Joshua versus Usyk. This is pretty much an exciting fight.
Chocolatito, Estrada.
Oh yeah, that too.
Castaño, Jalo. There's been a bunch of good fights this year, man. They really have, but
Absolutely.
it's just been weak lately.
I was going to say this is my fight I'm looking forward to the most. Probably maybe that or Chocolatito Estrada. But the Chocolatito Estrada got cancelled, didn't it? Because of the invite.
It's
I heard.
Oh, did it?
no, but the first fight happened this year.
Yeah, but I mean one coming up, like to look
Oh,
forward to.
yeah, it got rescheduled to November.
Oh, that's not too bad. Well, that's Well, them two fights, Porter and Crawford, and this. I don't know if Crawford stops Porter. That'll be impressive to me. If it's a Porter, like if Porter's comes to fight and is in good shape, and we see the same Porter that we've seen the last few years in big fights, I'll be impressed if Crawford could stop that guy.
Like, what's the biggest benefit out of this? Out of like whether one guy wins or another? Like, who benefits most of Crawford? Who benefits most if Porter wins? Like, you guys keep saying if Crawford stops him, it's a huge statement. So that might be the biggest lucrative outcome of this thing.
I think it is,
and that might be
I
what
think that is
most
that
guys
is.
are trying to make their money off of.
I think that's
It's
what
gonna
Maybe
look
maybe
real
Hyman's
bad
willing
if,
to sell a loss to Porter to make Crawford look good for Bob Arum will maybe have a deal for him in the future.
Good man.
I think if Crawford knocks out Porter and then Spence doesn't fight him, it's gonna look real bad on Spence's behalf. It's gonna look really bad.
Well, Crawford's fought no one at welterweight, so even if he beats Porter, that would be good because it would show he's a top welterweight. But I think to show that he's at least a pound for pound level fighter, he has to stop Porter and dominate him. Like if he beats Porter, that means he's a top welterweight. But if he stops Porter, and it's a Porter that comes to fight, that'll show that he's
Porter. If he beats Porter like he did Jeff Horn.
Yeah.
That would be like okay.
Yeah.
Now step
But
up.
I have a hypothetical. Situation. Let's say Crawford wins by robbery. Like, what does that say about Crawford?
You're back at the same.
That's not
shit.
good.
Yeah, it's
That's
just
not
like
good.
okay,
back
you
to square
actually
one,
lost
pretty
the fight.
much.
Right. Okay. So you either lost, draw the fight. Right. So the scenario is that the fight's close. A lot of people think Porter won, and yeah, it's one of those that could have won either way. Then it's like, yeah, dude, you're on the level basically of everybody else, and that's what I expect. Honestly, I expect him to be.
That's what I do too.
On the level of Spence, Porter, that type. Yeah.
I think I'm picking Crawford to win like a 7-5, 8 format, like a competitive decision. That's what I think.
I think it comes down to the ref. If the ref lets Porter come inside the way he does, then you might get a different outcome. But if he doesn't let Porter get close, and he lets Crawford pick him apart from the outside, and anytime they get inside and they clinch, they separate them. Crawford probably get the points.
Porter knows how to fight out of a clinch, though. That's the thing.
That's why Porter's great. This is why I think it's a good test. What do you got, L-Dog? What
if the ref starts taking points away from him?
I got Terrence Crawford 7-5, 8-4, but I'm gonna throw something in. I think he's gonna score 2 knockdowns.
That'd be good. Like that would be probably the clearest.
That would be a convincing win. That would be a better win than But everything we gotta see what actually happens in the ring. But if he could do it, if he could do it better than. Remember, I thought Kell Brook won. I don't know about you guys, but I actually thought he won the fight. It was close, but that's the fight that I said, nah, you lost. But the other 2 losses with Keith Thurman and Spence, those fights for me could have won either way.
Disputable. Yeah, that was
disputable.
I thought Spence beat him pretty clearly. It was close, but I think he beat him.
I think Brook beat him better though. Bit cleaner. I do agree. Recognize. Like I think Brook, there was no.
I thought Thurman beat him pretty clearly, but I was in disagreement with Precise.
I did have Thurman winning as well. Yeah, I had Thurman 7-5, but I could see why they thought Porter won. It was that close.
But that fight was pretty close, right? Like it was a close fight because
plus
I banging away.
They got to get Thurman back in the ring, man. That guy was good.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Thurman is done.
I don't know how much he wants it.
I think he was done after the Danny Garcia fight. To be honest, he never looked the same.
Well, Angel said that.
That's a good fucking point. Yeah.
Yeah, Angel
Actually,
said that. Recognized. Angel said we ruined that small dick motherfucker. He never gonna be the same.
I don't even know
Oh
how
my
he knows.
gosh.
I
Oh
don't even
my
know how
gosh.
he has a small dick, but that guy's crazy, man.
That
He
Angel
was,
said
he
does,
was
'cause he's not
probably
from-
just really satisfied with the win. That was the biggest win of his life. So he was satisfied with that, and probably didn't want to have any desire to train any harder anymore.
But he got up for the Pacquiao fight. I don't think he was in his prime.
He
anymore.
tried, I think, but I think he did
tried a
like.
lot, though.
I think the same problem is with Pacquiao. I don't think he trains year round like he was hungry like he used to be. Like I think he just kind of gets in shape. Like it's another job to him. I don't think it's like necessarily like he feels like it's a life or death situation or something. Like he just kind of does business. And if you lose, I don't know. I don't think it's like he's willing to die in there like to win anymore, you know.
Right, but if like Crawford is a top 3, top 5 pound for pound fighter, he definitely I wouldn't say definitely, but put it this way, he should beat Porter convincingly. Like the way L Dog scenario he kind of painted out where it's like 7-5, 8-4 with
I think even more recognised. The way they've hyped Crawford up, I think you should stop him if it's as good as they.
That's what I'm exactly. Yep.
If they're calling this guy like,
I don't view him that way, so I'm expecting the same thing with Spence. When people were like, Spence is gonna knock out Porter for sure, I was like, first of all, I don't view Spence that way, so I'll be very surprised if he stopped Sean Porter. And that's not what happened, obviously.
I don't think he's gonna stop him, but he's probably gonna beat the shit out of him. Though.
That'll be good enough.
Even then, that's still good.
Yeah.
I think Porter is gonna be like, you know, like everyone's gonna appreciate his heart because he was like, you know, fighting through an ass beating. And that's gonna be like the claim to fame to Porter's performance, but Crawford's probably gonna beat the shit out of him. I don't think he's gonna stop him though.
I don't think I've ever seen Porter fight to survive, be put in a situation where he's just trying to survive, or he just stopped fighting. I've never seen that. So, you know, can Spence make him do that? I've seen guys that are pound for pound fighters do that to like upper level competition, like Pacquiao, Miguel Cotto, where Cotto just stopped fighting. There's a couple other guys, but just to give you an example of that, what I mean by that, like where a guy just quits, he just stops fighting.
Like when Pacquiao fought Horn, that's what happened.
Oh, here we go, L Dog.
Come on, L Dog.
Pacquiao was standing there like, "Oh, just let this in. Save me, ref. Save me, ref."
Pacquiao was winning that fight, dude. I mean,
Jeff the Hornet Horn, man, the greatest welterweight of the last 10 years.
Oh my gosh, L Dog.
Come on,
oh my
L Dog.
gosh. Come on, L Dog.
fucking
Okay.
have too much tonight, man.
Should I kick L Dog out?
No, because he's MXVC,
Okay,
but
all right. So,
not that you're aligned with us, but I'm just saying.
also
I'm not gonna
Pacquiao
miss
did
it.
kind of. I think Pacquiao ruined Corn as well in the 10th round. He beat him to within an inch of his life. So,
Yeah.
tournament, right?
Dude, Horn was never the same.
After that,
That
he got
was-
knocked out by Crawford. Then he got knocked out by
See what I'm saying?
Tim Zhu.
Can Spence
Michael
can Spence
Zarafna.
do that to guys like that? Because
Spence destroyed some guys. He
I
destroyed
mean, that's Spence. I'm sorry. Yeah, Spence. I'm talking about
Kell
Crawford.
Brook.
I meant to say. Yeah, he did destroy Kell Brook. You're 100% right.
No, it was Triple G who destroyed them first, and then Spence finished them off.
Exactly. People forget about Triple G's leftovers.
Yeah, but he still beat him down, dude. He still beat him down when he was the champ. I agree that it is a little bit overrated. Like, someone the other day was trying to tell me Spence fought everyone in their prime. He even said fucking Peterson and Kell Brook, and I'm like, dude, Peterson was at 140 when he was in his prime, and Peterson had one more fight after the Spence fight where he got his ass beaten and retired.
yes, but Peterson wasn't a elite 47 pounder. Peterson
at
got
Kell
beat
Brook,
by
dude.
Felix Diaz, and he got
Yeah.
probably a gift decision.
Yeah, that was. I
Cal
thought so
Brook
too.
got beat the fuck up, man, and by Triple G. And then after the Spence loss, he never went on to do anything.
No,
Eldog,
that ruined
Eldog,
him.
I want you, real quick, Eldog, I want you to read this comment because I know it irks you.
Look at Horn's face at the end of that fight. I mean, cool. Look at Pacquiao's face at the end of that fight.
He was cut from
It
a
wasn't
headbutt.
No, he was
badly
bleeding. He's
damaged.
bleeding from the head or something, but that was it.
He's bleeding from the head, but that's pretty much it.
Okay, well, so was Jeff Horn.
Well,
Nah, Jeff Horn got socked up in the face. and somebody's
Jeff
eye was
Horn,
missing.
all of his face was covered by Pacquiao's punches.
I still think Teddy Atlas was an asshole when he told him to his face, "You lost that fight."
Yeah, that was fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
Horn
shut
looked
the
like he
fuck
wanted to
up,
cry.
man. How about-
That was not an. He was telling it like it is, pretty much.
I mean-
Horn was about to cry.
I lost
Didn't
respect.
he
I
get
lost,
fired?
I lost respect for fucking Freddie Roach after that because he kind of admitted to press that fucking Pacquiao lost. And that he thought Pacquiao should retire, and I was like,
I don't
"Fuck
know
this
what
guy."
that relationship is all about, man. That's a weird.
He fired him.
relationship.
He temporarily fired him after that, and they got back together. But I think that's why they originally like separated.
I'm telling
He
you
was just
this,
a boy.
man. Fucking Freddie Roach keeps it real on Manny Pacquiao. Now the Pactards don't like that. They think
Oh,
Pacquiao is the best
Oh
thing
my
since
God,
sliced
here we
bread.
go
They
again.
think he won every fight. But Freddie Roach kept it real with him, man. A trainer ain't supposed to just kiss your ass. You know, there's a million JDs type of guys out there. If you had a flat performance, fucking tell the guy he lost, even if you don't believe it. But just tell him he lost so he gets, so he wants to fucking grind.
Oh, so you say more motivation, right?
Yeah, that's what Freddie Roach ain't supposed to be. He can't just kiss his ass the whole time, otherwise he'll never get better.
I get what Eldog's
What do you mean
saying,
getting better?
and-
He's at the
but-
prime
but
of
I
his
think-
career. How much better can he get?
How much
But
better can he
I
get?
think Freddie Roach. I think Freddie Roach is a snake. He just comes off. I think he's a bit of a snake, though. I don't trust him.
I never liked
Listen,
him either. I saw him call
Pacquiao-
fights with fighters that weren't doing too bad, but they would get in a little bit of trouble, and he would like throw in the towel, and I'd be like, "Why would you have this guy as your trainer? He's gonna throw the towel in as soon as you're in trouble."
Yeah, he looks like he's-
Pacquiao, he could have got better to the point where he could have beat Ugas, I'll tell you that.
Well,
He wasn't supposed to fight Ugas, dude. That's the whole thing. Like, what?
me say
I
what's
didn't
up
even know
real
about
quick
that
to-
till like a month before the fight myself. I was just like, "What the fuck? He's fighting who?
yeah.
Ugas? Like, what the hell? Like, I thought he was fighting Spence. I thought they canceled that fight." Like,
Welcome, Guerrero.
What's up, Guerrero?
what's up, Mexicano? You sound Mexican.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's from Tijuana. What's up, Guerrero?
You can speak whenever you want, Guerrero.
All right, all
He
right.
must be on mute.
He's
Must be on
occupied.
mute.
But you know who I also don't. You know who I also don't like? Robert Garcia. I've never liked Robert Garcia at all. I mean,
Tell us why. Tell us why.
I'll tell you why.
I grew
especially
up around
'cause-
him, so I like to hear this shit.
Oh, really? All right. Because of,
Yeah, I'm from
first of all,
Oxnard, dude. I'm an Oxnard guy.
He's gonna go easy on him now, dude. You got him shook.
oh my
Tony.
gosh.
You grew up with
No, I'm an Oxnard guy, dude. I grew up around here. I grew up in the boxing scene. I sparred a lot of people. Like,
That's
have
what
you
I'm
ever got
saying.
the
Now
chance
he's-
to meet Vargas? Have you ever chance to?
he's older than me, but yeah, I saw him around, but I never anywhere worked out around him or anything. But,
Oh, okay.
but no,
yeah.
other guys I
My mic's
did. Yeah,
messed up.
other guys.
I'm gonna have to jump off.
The Josecito Lopez
All
was
right,
there
looking
a little
now.
bit.
I was just gonna say, well, he acted like a victim against what happened with the whole press conference against, like, remember, like, with Robert Garcia not leaving, and then like Freddie Roach was telling him, "Hey, you need to leave," and then it got super ugly, yeah, and then also, I don't know, that's pretty
Alex
much the first
Arizo
time.
is the one that got really crazy.
I think Oxnard,
Yeah.
Oxnard people have a chip on their shoulder for like LA people.
Yes, I
LA
can see that.
Mexicans.
Yeah, yeah.
And if
Hey, I think
they like to prove that their boxing's better. So like guy like Freddie Roach is known like in Hollywood or whatever. Robert Garcia can obviously see as like, you know what, dude, you ain't shit, man.
I know what you mean,
I agree.
Durden. It's like guys from Hempstead and Yonkers, these smaller cities. in New
Or
York.
like someone from Manhattan versus someone from Brooklyn, like something like
Well,
that.
at least they're the
Recognized?
city, right? They're the city. They're like
Yeah.
they considered the city
Well,
part.
Oxnard's like a farm town. That's like
Yeah.
it's like a highly
so-
populated farm town. It's a lot of Mexican farm workers
So
in
is
one city, and
Yonkers.
then LA is like a little bit more classy, like
And
a
in
little
Sa-
grungy
and-
too. At the same time, you don't have a job in LA, you're kind of grungy, but if you have a job, you're making good money too. So
I think Robert Garcia is a better trainer now. Freddie
Hey,
Roach
hey,
was better, like
Dirt-
2000 to 2010, but since then, nah.
Yeah, Durden. I was looking up because remember I told you I knew a lad from Ventura. He's Oxnard's in Ventura County.
Ventura is
near
real.
Ventura.
Like Ventura's like the capital of our county, but
Mhm.
it's a slightly
Yeah.
smaller city than Oxnard, but it's right north of it.
Isn't it
Yeah,
Ventura
'cause
a
I
lot
looked up.
more?
That's where
a lot more
Ortiz
Caucasians?
lived, I think. Ortiz claims
Okay.
to be from Kansas, but I'm pretty sure he grew up in Ventura.
Oh,
The
Yeah.
one
Avenue. A
question.
lot of people from
Isn't-
the Avenue, like Jose Yepes is from the Avenue. I don't know if you know that guy. But the Avenue is kind of known too for their boxing. Not as much as Colonia, Oxnard, or something, but
I was just gonna say,
Avenue's got their fighters, But
I was just gonna say that is Ventura has a lot more Caucasians than Oxnard does, or
I would say yes, but they're
Yeah.
not the type of Caucasians. I would say they're more on the wild side.
Hey, well, Durden, the lad I know, he just
Like the
done
movie
5
American
years.
History X, they're more like those kind of Caucasians.
Hey,
you know?
Durden,
okay.
the lad from Ventura I know just did 5 years jail. He got brought out here to do prison. So yeah, they are. He's a bit
A
wild.
little bit on the ghetto side, like the pier, the guys that
Yeah.
live by the pier, they're called Pierpont Rats, but
That's
they're
where he's
like
from.
white.
That's where he's from, lad. That's where that lad was from.
I-
Yeah,
know
there's like white guys. They wear all plaid. They shave their head. They kind of look like Nazis and shit. But they're those type of guys. Like they're white guys that they kind of like stick to their own on the beach and shit. But yeah,
And another guy I grew up with, well, he's a bit older than me, but he's from my area here, Durden. He lived in Ventura for nearly 10 years. That's how he knew that guy. Like, and he brought him back.
it's real close by. I mean, you could drive to a gym and spar somebody. It's not far.
So it's on the beach, eh? So it's got the surf and that there.
But it's on the beach. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why he lived there.
Yeah, Ventura is definitely more white, but they're more like lower income whites.
I know a friend. I know a friend. She's from that I know. She's from Thousand Oaks. I don't know.
And that's
Isn't
like
it
the
that-
that's where the richer whites live. The people
yeah,
with
that's
money, yeah. They
yeah,
live in
that's true.
Thousand Oaks. Thousand Oaks is
It's-
nice though. It's a good
Yeah,
place to
like-
hang out and take your girl on a date to go eat. And Thousand Oaks is a nice town.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's similar. It's similar to where I'm closer, Elk Grove, which is in Sacramento County, pretty much. So
That's
yeah.
what it sounds like. I've always heard of Elk Grove, like pro baseball players. I look at
Yeah.
their fucking origin.
Or
It's from Elk Grove,
Roseville.
something like that. Yeah, and it's like the white suburbs of like Sacramento or San Francisco or something.
Exactly. Or Roseville. I'd say Roseville.
I've heard of that name before too. A lot of pitchers
Yeah.
come out of there. A lot of that shit.
Or Folsom too. Like you have lots of football players coming out
Isn't
of
that where-
Roseville.
Isn't Folsom where the prison is?
Yes,
Isn't
that
it?
is it. That is it. And
It's
I've
kind of
been-
in the
and I've
burbs
passed-
though. It's like out nowhere.
Like when you go.
Well, like
upstate,
I'm a
when you go to
descendant
upstate-
of. Do you know where Vacaville is, right?
Vacaville, yeah.
I'm a
passed through
descendant
there.
of like the guy they named it after or whatever. Like I'm his blood relative or something.
Blood relative. Oh, that's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
the Pena Adobe is like one of my great grandfathers or whatever, and then the Vaca guy is too. And
You
their
know,
kind of
you know
families
what?
intermarried, and the Scottish
You know-
people came in and all that stuff. But
You know what? I've been in the city of Woodland, which is like a little northwest of Sacramento, and it pretty much reminds me a bit like Oxnard or Riverside in some way because, I mean, it's kind of somewhat ghetto-ish. I'm not gonna lie, but it looks pretty nice. But yeah,
I think California. That's the story of California. It's just like each city's kind of like a little ghetto-ish, but there's like these people trying to fucking clean things up. But there's not enough people trying to clean things up. So it's kind of like getting cleaned up, but there's still a lot of ghetto shit going on around. Like California's like on the right track, but like there's just so many ghetto people around. Like no matter how much you try to do the right thing, they just fuck everything up. So
He told me, Durden, there was a big HA chapter in Ventura as well. He told me as well. The lad that was from there.
there was a
I
what?
don't know. Big HA chapter.
Like skinheads?
No, HA, Angels.
Oh, I
H-
thought you
Oh,
meant
Hell's
Oh,
Angels.
that's originally like the main guy from it. Well, they split into two fucking things or whatever, but I know that the Ventura Avenue was where the homeboy, fuck, I forgot his name, dude. One of the presidents, one of the original ones, set up shop right there, and then Northern California is separated from Southern California. So Southern California was headquartered in Ventura, and Northern California, fuck, I forget, bro. Someone has to refresh my memory. I think Oakland. I think
Yeah,
that's the
Bay
Northern
Area.
California
Because
chapter.
even once here, I know I always speak about the Bay Area was where it started. So,
But yeah, the Hells
probably
Angels were
Oakland.
from the Ventura Avenue, as I was saying. That's like a hard spot where Ortiz was from the guy that got knocked out by Mayweather.
Yeah,
Yeah, we know.
Victor Ortiz. Yeah.
Victor, I think his family is from Ventura Avenue. They're all from that neighborhood, so it's a tough
That's a
neighborhood, dude. I mean, Oxnard's a little tougher, but Ventura Avenue is pretty tough too.
I think Tony Ferguson might have been from around there as well.
He's from Oxnard, I believe.
Okay, he's from Oxnard. Yeah.
I think his dad's like got a good business. He probably grew up with a little bit of money. He wasn't like poor or anything, but he grew up probably around that culture of toughness. There's a lot of posers here too, because it's like, in order to be cool, you have to play the part. So a lot of people try to act a lot tougher than they are, because
sounds
live
like
up to the
New York.
representation.
Sounds like New York too, man. There's a lot of guys.
Like Precise would say, the homo thugs.
Yeah.
A lot of guys fake it, but they're not tough.
Remember when I was saying I was spinning the verse of the Dog Pound, New York, New
Yeah,
York?
yeah.
Like,
Down by
it's
law.
kind of true. Like, sometimes you get fooled if you're not from around there. You'd be like, yo, that guy looks vicious, but he's really like a sucker. He's just a poser.
Yeah. Get fooled if you come from out
But
of town.
that you get, yeah. But that, I guess, I'm sure you get that in every city, man. You get like some
Absolutely.
guys trying to, some groups of dudes. Yeah, I think they all that.
Yeah, any big city in the
And you
world
step
has
to
them.
them. I want to fight.
To me, the people I
Has
fear
some
most are like those crazy homeless black guys and shit. Like, I feel like they're just gonna stab you at any moment, bro. Like,
They got nothing to live
those are the
for.
ones
They
I
got
worry
nothing to
about,
lose.
bro.
They got nothing to lose, so you're right.
And they've done it too. Like, I'll read the news and it'll be like, they'll show like, homeless man stabs father of 3, like fucking at a beach.
Hey,
And
you
I'll be
gotta
like,
go
oh
full
shit!
Patrick
And I'll look
Bateman
at
on him.
the picture of the guy. It's some black dude that looks all like dirty and shit. And I'm like, god damn. If I ever
Hey, you
see
gotta
like a
go-
homeless black dude, I'm gonna fucking stay my distance, bro.
You gotta go Patrick Bateman on him, dude.
I was gonna say, was Brandon Rios from Oxnard? I mean, he was also from Kansas.
That's
and then
another
moved-
one that claims to be from Kansas, but that's the thing, dude. Like these field worker kind of people, they're migrant workers. That's why they call them migrant workers, because they move, right? They're on the move. So like, I think a lot of them, according to the seasons, will work in different places. So maybe they worked in Kansas some part of the year, and then when there's a lot of picking to be done in California, they come back to California. And I think that's what's going on. Where Ventura County is Ventura County is not like LA County. LA County is very like pretty much all concrete. Where like here it's like a farm county, like Kern County, Bakersfield, like a lot of those counties, it's all farming. And it's just they hire a lot of Mexicans to do all the picking and all that. And that's just the way it is. There's just a lot of farming out here. But Oxnard's a huge farming town. So like Oxnard's big, but it's a lot. It's kind of considered country at the same time, because it's like there's a lot of like open space of like strawberry fields, lemon orchards, like avocados. Like there's a lot of space where like the people just work on that.
And I know a friend like who lives. I know my family's friend who lives in near Palm Desert, like because there's also farms over there in Palm Springs. Like where Joel Diaz is from. Yeah.
I'd say a little bit, but the weather's pretty harsh out there, so it's kind of harder to grow stuff. But yeah, I believe it. Like Oxnard is never hot. It never gets hot. Like even when the Burbank and Hollywood's like 95 to 100 degrees, you can go to Oxnard, it'll be 70 degrees because there's like a marine fog that kind of like blocks the sun, and it just, no matter what, it just does not get hot there. And the vegetation's pretty good because it's still warm and humid, but it's and there's a lot of like, you know, mist in the air. So it's kind of weird. Like it's almost like a paradise that people don't know about. Little by little, it's getting more and more populated. But I think LA people kind of discover Ventura County, and they want to move north or even Santa Barbara and stuff. But like, yeah, dude, it's a huge difference from the weather, dude, from LA Valley, where it's just almost like a desert. It's like too hot to like live.
Yeah, that's true.
What's up with the California like state elections or whatever?
There was a recall.
I think they're giving it to Gavin because I saw last I checked it was like 65% in favor of keeping him in office. So
Who is the alternative?
Larry Elder, that black dude.
Yeah, Larry Elder.
Which I'm not a big. I didn't vote for him either. Like I voted to recall Gavin, but I wanted a Democrat named Kevin
Paffram. Yeah, I voted for him.
You've heard of that guy?
Yeah,
like he claims to be the next JFK, and the way he sounds, he does sound a lot like him. But you know, I mean, yeah, I mean his points are just like JFK's, but I don't know. I mean, to me, I'm not going to support that guy because that's not that I agree with everything JFK believed either. But I mean, maybe California needs some balance or something, dude. Because I mean, to me personally, I'd rather accelerate and fucking go. You know what I mean? Like, you know, anti-democracy. But you know, if I'm going to use democracy, I'll try. But I knew that guy didn't have a fucking chance in hell. So yeah, I mean, we knew it's just. I think it's rigged too. Like, I mean, even when I filled out my election, everything was translated in Spanish, and it's like, if you're voting in America and you don't know English, like, the fuck are you doing? You know?
What do you think about that?
Oh, it was Go ahead.
What do you think about that, Durden?
Of what? Oh, the
Comments.
I am hoodlum.
Oh my gosh.
It's Piggy Smalls.
Oh, Piggy Smalls. Oh my god.
I mean, hey, that guy will take on Oxnard all by himself, bro.
Durden, I was gonna hold on. Let me. It's my friend didn't live in Thousand Oaks, but lived in Westlake, so that's close enough.
Oh, that's even more rich.
More rich, yeah.
Nicer, yeah. That's like it's like borderline LA. Like if you actually Westlake Village, I think is LA County because
it's pretty much in the border between.
Yeah, I've worked there before, and I've seen LAPD patrolling in Westlake Village. So I don't think that. I think Agora and Westlake's kind of 818 area code. 805 is like kind of Central Coast, northern. So like Oxnard's like the first town north of Malibu that becomes Central Coast, and before that it's like South Coast. That's like it's kind of like Oxnard's like right there between Central Coast and South Coast. Like it's right on the line right there.
Right.
Once you go South Coast though, that's where it gets all hot. The Central Coast is like really cool. The mountains are all green. That's where all the cows and all the cattle and everybody live. Like it's nicer. Like it's way nicer, the weather.
Once you go north of Oxnard,
it's way nicer.
Exactly. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah,
it's really green. It's really nice. The mountains are like there's forests everywhere. Like the weather's way nicer because the way I don't know. You've seen a map. Like you can see how the ocean breeze kind of from Alaska or whatever the north, the currents kind of like flow down. But if you go to Southern California, it's blocked by all that mountains and stuff, and you're getting all that desert air that blows in. So it's kind of like real hot, like in the South Coast.
Exactly.
And LA's like right there. Like it's kind of nice, but it's still fucking too hot.
La La Land. Ugh.
Hey, speaking of this political thing, did you guys see AOC's dress?
Yeah, I saw it.
What did it say in the back?
Tax the rich.
Tax the rich.
Can't lie, dude. AOC is hot.
I'd bone her too, dude. I'm not gonna lie either. But I'll tell you what, I'll call the hypocrisy. According to what I heard, the ticket to the event that she was at was $33,000. So it's like, what the fuck? Like,
She don't believe in that. In other words, she doesn't believe that.
Well, it's
shit.
kind of weird. It's like you're telling all the people at that event, like, give up all your money to the people of color now. Fucking racist.
Oh my
Literally,
gosh.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. That's what it tells me. Like, she probably wants to say that out loud, but then again, it's like, why do they invite her to those things? That's the thing with Gavin Newsom and these guys. It's like they're like white elites, but they're rich. But at the same time, they act like we got to stop all this racism and all these rich people. And it's like, you are the fucking rich people. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, what's going on?
That's
the
okay. That is the trick that they use, right? So like stupid people, and we know them in our family. Some of us do, at least. Especially if you grow up with like Spanish family, Roman Catholic family with today's new generation. They're all like, oh, but look, she says she wants to tax the rich. I'm like, let's say I'm talking to my aunt, but I'm like, Tia, right? That's what we call them. Like, she's a fucking bitch. What are you talking about? She doesn't want to live next to you. She's just saying that. And like she goes to events where you can't even you couldn't afford that in 2 months.
And also, I'm not sure if I'm wrong, but didn't AOC grew up in Westchester County, like which is super elite.
So she tried to say she grew up in the Bronx, right? Then it was like, no, I grew up in Yonkers. It's like, no, you didn't. No way. And then it's like, okay, I grew up in Yonkers Heights, which is way different. Yeah, which is way different.
That's like saying you grew up in Oak Park, like you later grew up in Roseville. That's how it exactly is. That's how I see it.
Sounds like one of those girls who probably do have immigrant parents, but they're like Coco, and they made a lot of money, and they moved to like a certain nice spot. And well, like she's trying to come across like, oh well, I got a job as a bartender, so I'm like poor.
I think her dad is like a lawyer, right? Like he worked for some. Yeah, he was a lawyer, and he was making a lot of money to live where they live at. You know, he's got to be making. The family's got to be making at least, $300,000, somewhere around there.
Maybe her family's in on it. Like maybe they try to coach her on. I don't know. That's what I'm talking about. There's like these democratic elites that like bash the rich while getting rich at the same time.
I wonder if she'll ever be president, because she's got a lot of time. She's already pretty popular.
The way this country's coming, give it time, L-Dog, she could. I know that sounds crazy.
It's gonna happen, unfortunately.
Maybe okay.
There's a lot of competition out there, man. You never know, man. There's a lot of weird people that. Look at Caitlyn Jenner, man.
But dude, she's so dumb. Like you ever hear her, she'll say things that doesn't even make sense. Like it'll be like, tax the rich and give me money. And I want you guys to know that I love you. It's like, did you just not hear what you just said? And she's like, what? What did I say? You racist? She'll just call you a racist when you point it out to her.
Oh like, my gosh.
I'm over exaggerating like what she would say, but it's
if I were a press person, I'd say, Mrs. AOC, like, how does that white cock taste?
I'm just fighting white supremacy, okay? That's
because she's with a white guy, right? She's with a white guy.
Always with a white guy. When is she not?
I'm like, how do you like that white cock, girl?
That's what I don't like about, like, if there was somebody that was actually like living that life, right? Everything is, Latino this.
I can see if she was with like a black dude, I'd be like, all right, I kind of get it.
Yeah, you can see a little bit more. It'll match up, but it's like, nah, she hates white heterosexual white males, but that's basically what she's dating.
Here's what's fucking ironic as fuck is the Kardashians are Republicans and they like black guys. They're Republicans.
But what kind of Republicans
I think they're more moderate. Are Republicans because the Republicans typically help the
anybody
rich.
That's rich is going to be Republican because you don't want to be taxed as much. That's the thing.
Right.
And when AOC's like tax the rich, it's kind of like all you're getting is like the low income people supporting you. Like anybody with money is not going to support that.
No.
Contrary to what, Republicans typically think, I mean, the Republicans are like the party of the rich for the most part.
They're full of
and
shit.
the neoliberal Democrats too.
It's just the far left.
The two parties are.
There's rich Democrats though, but they get rich off
far
of
left
like
and the
big corporate state kind of protection.
Are basically the same thing.
Exactly.
They talk the same shit, basically. Okay, all right, like everybody gets on the far left, they always talking about race. But like, what is like the neocon? What are these conservatives? What are they always talking about? You're a racist. We're the least racist, and our greatest ally is Israel. It's like shut the
And
fuck up, man.
and also Trump, orange man bad. Like you hear that a lot. Orange man bad.
Well, I mean, he's just a cocksucker. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not against him in the sense like if I had to choose between like him and Biden, I'm not saying that, but like he's nobody. He's not even a Trojan. I would call him a Trojan horse, but like,
I would choose Biden over Trump, to be
you know
honest.
why I would choose Biden over Trump? Because at least I know the enemy. Like he actually like tells you straight out, I don't like you. That's the difference between him and Trump. Trump is like, I try to help you, buddy, but like at the end, you're still gonna drown. That's Trump.
I mean, the
It's
thing
like
is,
fuck you,
Biden
then.
Biden is just better at doing what Trump wanted to do for the most part. He's deported way more people, and he's
Yeah, you're getting
finishing the
confused
war.
with that, though. I think you're getting confused with that. Like those people are being brought back in, though. Look, who
I
cares?
don't know, man.
Look, who cares, right? Did Trump live up to anything he said?
Not at all.
There you go. That's it. So now I do believe, I didn't vote.
Look, he actually did do some things, like the pull out of Afghanistan was actually kind of started by him.
I don't even care about
So
that situation. Like that whole
yeah.
thing that happened over there. Like I honestly,
You there?
yeah. Nah, I'm sorry. I'm on my phone and I got a phone call. But
True.
yeah. But anyway, so the fuck was I saying? Yeah, he didn't do anything, man. He didn't like he did the pull out of Afghanistan. That's something that I don't care. But what did he do in the summer of 2020 when the city was going like, I'm gonna get used? No, I'm not. I'm gonna sit here. Okay, maybe I won't go after you guys. It's like he did nothing, man. Nothing at all. You know what? He would have changed my mind. I would have voted for him. And I know a lot of other people that would have had he take like people that normally don't vote. Okay, people like myself. I don't normally vote. And there's a lot of us. It's like a good 10 million of us. Let's say 5 million of us showed up. He could have won, right? He actually could have won. Like you could rob him all you could try to rob him all you want. Maybe if he would have got 80 million votes, there's probably nothing they can do, right? Even though 75 million is still a lot. My point is, there's a lot of people that saw what he did, and they were just like, because we're already skeptics of just the whole right wing, left wing shit, right? Like we just think that they're both working for the same small hat. Dude, he was a big letdown. I'm sorry, man. I felt bad for like 'cause I got
2016
family
Trump
that
was
are
very
Republican.
good.
He was saying things that people wanted to hear for a long time. Absolutely, man. He did. But 2020 was like he was cringy, man. And still he got more votes than he did in 2016, right? He actually got more votes by like 12 million.
Yeah.
Yep. He's terrible. He was terrible in the end, man.
Dude, he said all the right
can't
things
help
in
you guys, but vote
2016.
for me.
Yeah.
I can't help you guys, but vote for me. I'll make things a lot slower. Like, okay, Biden and his team crash and burn, like right now, where Trump is, a slow burn, right? No, I'm not gonna burn the whole thing down. I'm just gonna burn it slowly, I'll burn it enough that the next guy will just fucking collapse the whole thing, but it won't be me. That's all it is. Biden's trying to speed up the process. That's all he's doing.
Oh gosh. Quag's going at me. He says, look at the stock market when Trump took office, and yes it is, you moron. You know why? Because it's Americans invest in it. The majority of money invested into the American like the American stock market is from big business, right? Like it's not average Joes investing and getting rich. It's fucking rich people investing a lot of money and getting richer. So that's why the stock market ain't a good indication. Like you can say, look at Trump and look at the stock market when he was in there. You know who that benefited? That benefited the small, you know, a small group of individuals. That didn't actually benefit the average Joe. You know what actually benefits the average Joe? When like actual wages are rising. Because most people earn a wage. Most people don't like live off investments.
Yeah, I'm sorry, old dog. Yeah. Dude, the whole thing is a scam, man. The whole thing is a scam. That whole, you know, I'm building the economy, the other person is not. Don't they all say the same thing? Like, aren't they saying that under Biden, the economy looks like it's going the right direction? Aren't they saying that right now?
Yeah, I mean, the thing with economics is you can always nitpick some statistics and try and discredit someone because, look, man, no matter how good you are, you're never going to fucking be able to please everyone. There are going to be winners and there are going to be losers. I think Trump, like, he was okay, but just being real, he wasn't any better than Barack Obama, who wasn't particularly that bad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're all bad to me. They're just in the sense
I
that
mean, yeah, they're all
they don't
bad,
serve
but
yeah.
relative to other people, I mean, are they actually that much worse? Because we're comparing them to their opposition. Yeah,
They're all
I
shitty
don't know.
people.
I don't know what the Quags is on about, dude. More people have made money off investments than ever before. Look at news platforms. I mean, the reality is the people who make the most money from the stock market are the people who fucking are like big companies, big funds, guys in New York who, you know, wear small hats and own expensive
Oh,
apartments.
slats.
It's not your average Joe, dude. Like, what, you think your average guy is like investing in all these stocks and just that's how they're living? The
Nah.
average dude is getting fucking paid. He's getting paid from his work.
Well, they should probably like start being like Jews and speculate. I mean, small hats and speculate on the market.
And by small hats, I mean like, you know, like thinking caps, obviously. You
Yes,
know, like a thinking
exactly.
cap? Yeah. You know, the big brain guys. I'll just say the Bob Arums of this world.
Yes, the very successful Bob Arums.
You know, the successful businessmen who wear suits. Hey, have you noticed with
And
Bob
small
Arum, he
hats.
has to be like carried around when he walks now?
Yeah, what the fuck is that about?
Dude,
He's
he's
like
like
90.
dead, but
They
He's
got a
like Ruth.
machine.
He's like Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
They keep reviving him. Like he dies and then, no, Bob, no, you gotta stay. Let me go. Oh, bury me in Jerusalem.
Well, who's gonna take over top rank when he dies?
His son. Isn't his son like fucking 60 something years old in his prime right now? Jewish prime?
His son? He has a son.
I think so.
Never heard of him, man.
Trump said he was in his prime in his 60s. That's what he said.
Nah,
I don't think he means like physical prime.
financial maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Hope
yeah,
I
that's
could
the
live.
thing, dude. I don't know what's gonna happen with top rank if Bobby Arum dies. Maybe it's a good thing, you know. I mean, the people running boxing right now are like, I think the average one of us don't like it. We don't like De La Hoya. We don't like Bob Arum, Al Hyman, or even Eddie Hearn. I mean, Eddie Hearn's kind of weird. The one guy, Sutherland or whatever the fuck his name is, kind of fucking weird. These are the guys running boxing right now.
Guys, take over
Um,
for like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
boxing
I'm-
boxing is in a bad position, man. Hey Guerrero, are you there?
yeah, Guerrero, homie.
Bro, he ain't said shit this whole time.
What's up, my Mexican homie? I'm betting he's Mexican.
I think he gone to sleep, bro. Hey, but do
Anyways, like,
you like my profile picture, Durden?
looks like Usyk.
No. Look at the belt.
I can't see it, dude. I'm on my phone. Too small. Looks like a
Damn.
black dude
Nah, it's not a black dude.
on the belt.
Yeah, it's not a black dude.
You
It's,
gotta be kidding me. Is that Anthony? He
yes.
looks kind of dark from here, dude. I thought it was like some black guy. So you're saying it's Tony?
Yep.
I think you two should debate, dude. That'd be awesome for
That's what I
YTBC.
want, dude. I don't think he wants to debate though.
And if
Like, we
anybody
gotta-
calls me like a problem, like I don't know, man. Like I've always been about keeping it real with the YTBC, man, since day one. And you know, if I cause fights, like I'm all about open-minded, like free speech debates too. So people think that I'm like the bad guy, you know, like our L Dog is. Like it's, man, I've always been true to the YTBC, man. BDA kind of didn't like my free speech, and different forums don't like my free speech, and probably L Dogs too. So don't fall for that stuff, man. Like, yeah, block L Dog, man. Block them. You know, if you see that stuff, don't be a sheep, man. Think for yourself, dude.
Hey, bro, this dude, the Quags, is fucking weird, man.
Quags is my homie from back in the day, but I don't know if he's turned against me or not. But you know, I give him a shot, dude. I want to see what he's about. I still give him a lot of props. You know, hopefully he doesn't feel bad because I don't like Stewart. That's the whole reason I broke away from BDA and all that stuff, because I don't like Stewart. And I thought Johnny was kind of
Hey,
weird
what
in the
happened
end
to
too.
Stu,
So
man? What happened to Stu? I haven't heard him around in a while.
I don't listen to BDA anymore, so I don't even know if he's around. So
Nah,
I
BDA
wouldn't
is pretty good, man. I think BDA's gotten better since like Stu left. I kind of like the panel at the moment.
know. That's what I always said. I always said that show's fucking pretty good as
I
long
like
as
the
Stewart's
panel
not
with
there.
like Mr. BDA recognize
Yeah, Stewart
Jimmy.
kills it.
I think those
Stewart
three are
kills
like a
it for sure.
good trio.
Yeah, me and Stewart don't like each other. Yeah, that's the whole thing.
But I think those three are a good trio. And who else is on BDA? They got Chief. Chief is pretty good.
I don't know who that is.
Steve Kim sometimes jumps on. That's
Yeah,
always
fuck
good.
that kook. No offense.
Ah, come on, dude.
I mean kook. My bad.
But Steve Kim's cool. Who else they get on? I feel like I'm forgetting someone, but I don't know. I like this show lately. King Bucho. But
Me and Bucho kind of don't like each other because he's pro.
shout out to Big Boys, man. He said, "Oh, if Stu is not on BDA, I'm a resubscribe because that was the reason I left there as well." Hey, Stu banned a lot of people, man. Like he would just block people.
That's the problem with BDA
Like
is Stuart
you,
Little, man.
you know what? You know what? Like made me go away from BDA for a while. It was when kind of like Johnny Boy and Stu were both on there. Those motherfuckers would just block anyone, dude. Like I
Yeah,
used to
they're
like it.
crazy.
Like
They're
I like
crazy
it
ass
now, dude.
fucking communists.
The show's gotten better, and oh yeah, Gonzalo's another good one. Like the show now is doing better numbers, I think. So whenever I look at their like post fight thing, that shit's got like I mean, that shit got like
I've
1,000 views.
noticed when BDA is on this stream, we don't fight or anything. We just say what we want, and you know, respect each other's space. You know, there's
But
no hostile energy. You know, like I think with Stewart, it was always hostile.
Yeah, I don't know. You got to keep it neutral, I guess. If you want to hear narratives, go to the fucking LDBC or something, where like everyone agrees with each other.
It's an old story, but I mean, and I always like I got off on the wrong foot with Stuart Little because my family's favorite boxer was Tommy Morrison. You know, that was the guy. You know, we all looked up to him when we were little kids. So like,
Did
that guy
Stu
would
not
always
like
talk.
Tommy Morrison?
Stuart talk shit about how he spread AIDS. That dirty guy was spreading AIDS. You know, I don't know. He'd always like talk shit. And I'd say, hey,
Yeah.
man, you don't know what you're talking about, man. You don't know how AIDS gets spread. And he probably got AIDS from like taking steroids from someone who probably had AIDS or something, you know. And then like he was just like, oh, look at this fucking idiot. He didn't know nothing. That's where we got off on the wrong foot. And after that, I was just like, man, fuck this guy. I gotta like him, dude. Probably didn't like me either. I was like, Tommy Morrison's like a fucking cool guy, but he was like kind of just shitting on him or something. So I was just like, man, fuck you, dude. Tommy Morrison was cool.
Tommy Morrison, his I think his son is a boxer now. I think his name's like Trey Lippy Morrison.
Does he have a good record?
I don't know if he's any good, but
It's like Muhammad Ali's grandson or what?
yeah, that's interesting, dude. Like Muhammad Ali's grandson is getting a lot of exposure, but is he even that good?
I mean, that guy he beat, I think, was kind of trash, man. So, I mean,
Yeah, he must be, but
I mean, I don't even
wonder
know if he'd beat Jake Paul. You know, Jake Paul might be too big, but I just don't even think he'd beat Jake Paul. Like, it's not that amazing. But Bob Arum was all big about him. You know what I mean? Loved him some Bob Arum.
what
I mean,
weight
some Bob
class
Arum,
is he?
some. Oh shit,
Isn't
dude.
he
You
like
guys
kind of
remember? Wasn't it light middleweight, or middleweight?
It was something around middleweight, I feel like.
I believe so.
Let me search out Nico Ali Walsh.
Yeah, that guy he fought was like fucking trash, dude.
Dude, I can't find it anywhere. What is it? I'll just eye test it. Yeah, he looks like a middleweight or something. Or maybe a light heavyweight. Super middleweight. He doesn't look that big though, like he's not a heavyweight, that's for sure.
Bro, hold up.
Trey Lippy isn't that great. He might make an okay gatekeeper, but is currently still unbeaten just. Yeah. I mean, he's not that good, but
Who we talking about?
Tommy Morrison's son.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah. Isn't he like 10-0, something like that now?
I don't know. I think he's got like a padded record.
Right. He hasn't fought
But-
anybody of worth, right? Nobody notable.
Yeah, they might feed him to Jared Anderson.
Tony Morrison knew how to punch, though. That's the one thing he had.
I always get
Yeah, left
confused with
hook.
him and Donnie Lalonde.
Why?
Don't they look kind of similar?
Well, yeah, they're blondes, right?
Exactly.
They white boys. White boys.
Well, dude, I don't think I've ever seen Tommy Morrison fight. Who did he fight? Didn't he fight God damn it. Who did he fight? I don't remember.
Fought Lennox Lewis. Razor Ruddock. Ray Mercer. He almost died in that fight against Ray Mercer.
Oh shit, he was the actual champion.
WBO.
Yeah, but the WBO wasn't recognized then.
Right. It was like some fringe, like IBO, right?
He beat George Foreman, but George was probably old as fuck.
Mm-hmm. You ever hear George Foreman say he was actually afraid to fight Mike Tyson?
Nah, I never heard that. That would have been a good fight, man.
He said that.
You know what fight I would, dude? The fight, one of the best fights that could have been made of all time. I'm gonna give you the fight, the two fight cards. All right, heavyweight and a cruiserweight fight is gonna be David Tua versus Mike Tyson, prime for prime at heavyweight. Usyk versus Holyfield, prime for prime at cruiserweight. That
Yeah,
shit would be fucking insane.
those would be great fights, bro.
I think Tua and Tyson would have been one of the best fights of all time.
Tua could fucking hit you with one punch and then it's over, bro. Literally, just one. Mike Tyson
Yeah.
too, obviously, right?
I get the
I think
feeling that Tyson would have fucked Tua up in the first half of the fight, but Tua would have made a comeback and he might have fucking stopped Mike. Because I don't think anyone could knock out Tua.
it's fucking. He had a. You ever see his neck? Basically, didn't have one. It was
And
like
his
all trash.
legs, dude. He had these huge fucking legs, forearms. Like, he's just a big dude, man. Man, it sucks. Some of these fights they just get past you, man. Like, they just don't happen. Like, another good one that we should have got was Kovalev versus
We should
Stevenson.
protest, dude. We should protest, man.
Yeah, but
Think
there'll
we can
always
make
be
it
a
happen.
sucker. There'll always be a sucker.
I think the ticket buyers and the pay-per-view buyers should petition and protest, man, and make it like the NFL or something. Like they have to fucking have a tournament. If not, like they get fucking forfeited.
There'll always be a sucker willing to buy it, though.
Yeah, but all these excuses and shit, dude. Nah, man. Got to make a somewhat of a league. Even like PBC, how they're kind of a bitch about their fighters. They should make a league about it. Make a champion every year, like a tournament. Just have people scrap it out.
That's a good point, big boys. Last time I saw David Tua, he looked fat, like really fat. I was gonna say we could still get that exhibition, but it would take so long for him to actually lose weight to where he could probably make it interesting.
What's up, Fight Scout?
How's it going, everyone?
What's up?
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah,
Dude,
Caleb Plant isn't going to win, man. Just look at this this belt. It's like Canelo has never won just a standard belt. Everything has to be tailor-made for him.
What is the belt?
Crazy.
That's it right there.
What does it say?
WBC.
No, but underneath.
It
Has
says
a parrot.
Teotihuacan,
Is that like some
September
Aztec thing?
2021. I'm guessing something from Mexico. So I mean, there you go, man. Don't even. It's said and done.
Didn't they have Tyson Fury fight for like the Mexican belt or something when he fought Otto Wallen? Like the WBC made a Mexican belt for like fucking a Swede and a gypsy. Speaking of fights that should happen, Shane Mosley versus Recognized probably knows.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a fight that never happened. I mean, they were both there. When Mosley went up to 147, I want to say Trinidad had just, because remember, Trinidad after the De La Hoya fight went straight up to 154. His next fight was at 154, and I think it was David Reed. Yeah, I mean, that's a fight that I wish would have happened, man, for sure, man. I think Trinidad would have won, but if you really look at Shane Mosley's history, you can't stand in front of him, man. So it could have probably went either way.
You're saying Trinidad would have blasted on Mosley?
I think he would have, but if he survives, Trinidad might be in fucking trouble. But I don't think. I think Shane Mosley would have not survived.
Yeah,
that's my guess that he would have not survived.
It's a
Somehow he
styles thing,
did.
right?
Somehow he did. Then Trinidad's in for a fucking fight for sure.
Hey, what about Kovalev versus Stevenson? Prime for prime, who do you think wins?
Kovalev. Yeah.
I think Kovalev too, but if they fight 100 times, dude,
What's
Stevenson's
the-
gonna chin him like a bunch of those times. Because Stevenson, if he catches you, dude, it's
The
over.
first one, the very first one, Stevenson's brain damaged. It doesn't go. It doesn't go to a rematch, man.
Yeah,
Oh
I think
yeah, but dude, Stevenson can fucking punch, and Kovalev, like, his chin wasn't the best.
No, but who was Adonis knocking out?
I mean, Adonis knocked out some good people. Like, he could punch. You could tell he could punch because even Vostek and Badu Jack said that they were very nervous of his power.
Well, yeah, he could punch, but when you look at the level of fighters, right, a lot of guys know how to avoid that punch or take some
Okay.
steam off of it.
What's a better fight? Like, if you could have one fight, you could make Kovalev. You make these fighters in their primes. Kovalev versus Beterbiev or Kovalev versus Stevenson.
I'd like to see Kovalev versus Roy Jones Jr., but
Oh,
Stevenson, yeah.
but Turbiev would have been a nice one too.
I think Kovalev would have fucked Beterbiev up, man. It would have been good. It would have been a good fight, but dude, I think he could beat him, man. Because Beterbiev, he can get outboxed, and Kovalev in his prime had enough power to
Kovalev going into
keep
the
him at
Andre
bay.
Ward first fight, I take him over Beterbiev.
He'd outbox him, in my opinion. I don't think he'll stop him, but
He might drop him too. He might drop Beterbiev.
hey, you want to know how crazy shit has gotten these days, man? Like, there was a debate on Twitter, and there was a lot of people commenting, like, who would win, Andre Ward or Canelo in their prime? And most people were picking Canelo, but most people were also saying, like, saying some crazy shit. Like, I shit you not, people said that Canelo punches harder than Kovalev in his prime.
Nah.
Like, I'm like, what the
they're
fuck?
just confused. That's all it is. They don't know what they're looking at. Kovalev with a jab could do as much damage as Canelo could do just winding up on every punch.
No, Andre Ward would have fucked Canelo up, man. That's a bad style.
It depends on if are you gonna allow Ward to do his rough stuff if the fight gets a little difficult.
Yes.
Then probably.
Yeah, we gotta let those American privilege go. You know.
He's so much bigger than Canelo too, though. Like, imagine him being able to use that dirty tactics against a tiny fucking dude like Canelo.
Smash his balls in?
Yeah.
I mean, he probably couldn't reach his balls.
I
but
mean,
he
all
could
the
shoot
other
his
things,
belt.
all the other things before that too, though. Like, to be honest, like, it wasn't just that moment or that end of the fight where he did that or something. There was a lot of other things that Andre Ward does, man. That's, you know, not really etiquette to, like, you know, a real gentleman of the sport.
I think if you let both guys fight their fight, probably Ward beats him because of the size
and his athleticism, but
yeah,
Ward didn't
Well,
have
then
to
again,
fight
like
dirty.
Canelo-
It's like he just fought dirty just because.
Canelo must be paying people to, like, you know, lose. Maybe like in the way that Precise kind of hints. Like, you know, maybe they are. You know, maybe they're.
Is that what Jimmy was saying earlier on the BDA show? He was
I
saying
didn't
that,
catch that. What he
Plant
said?
was just hyping everything up, but in the end, he's just gonna fall down.
Basically, that's what he was saying. I was just basically saying I like all the shit that he's talking, and I don't have a problem saying it's just I don't like Canelo, so I don't mind like some of the things he's saying. It's kind of cringy, but yeah, it's like fuck it, like bother him, keep calling him a drug cheat. I would definitely do that.
Because he's hyping up the fight to take a dive, but in the process, he's just trying to sully Canelo's name. You know, like, I'll take this dive, but I'm gonna fucking smear your name with shit as much as I can.
Andre Ward has a good resume, man. That can't be denied. His resume is on point.
Yeah, I mean, some of it is BS though. He didn't win that first fight against Kovalev. I don't care what anybody says. That second fight, he should have been disqualified, man. I rewarded
That was disgraceful, man.
He doesn't have
And
he
you
doesn't
always
have
get,
Lucian Bute's name on it. He doesn't have Adonis Stevenson's name on it.
dude.
he should have fought Stevenson, but I think Stevenson would have iced him, dude.
Yeah, he probably would have.
Stevenson pulled his whole card so many times, man. That's something that goes on, like under the radar, so to speak, in terms of boxing talk. Have you ever heard Stevenson talk about Ward?
For sure.
It was just like always. It was just like, that dude's a bitch. He doesn't want to fight me.
Dude, here's the thing, right? Kovalev was way more technical and he had heavier hands, but Stevenson had way more one-punch knockout power. Like, he had the kind of touch of death. And if that same punch that, like, how Kovalev landed on Ward, if that was Stevenson, he wouldn't have got up.
Hard to say because Stevenson his opponents were like chinny. So it was like he knocked him out, but he never. The only Iron Chin guy that he fought was Vodik, right? And Vodik
Almost
bashed
killed
his
him, bro.
brains in, yeah.
He had Vosdik hurt a couple times, though.
Yeah, he did. But still, Vosdik was so strong at that moment that he was able to overcome that, and then it just ended bad for Stevenson. Dude, did you see the last punch? That the way his head?
Yeah.
It's kind of eerie, bro. If you really think about it, it's just like,
You know what's fucked up? He gets up after he gets knocked down, and then he just collapses halfway.
yeah, his brain is his whole cranium rattled. The whole fucking, like, his facial, his face, everything. Like he
I
got,
made that one kid cry.
oh yeah, low place.
Oh, low place. Dude, that guy was insane. I remember he cried. He's like, all he wanted to do was be great. And then he made that song and he's like, Triple G's a failure.
He did it. So that was his like little payback, right? Because he was so big on Stevenson. And so, like, you know, he made the song. Everybody's giving him props. That was a funny song. And then his world shattered. I mean, I heard he went to the big house, but I also wonder, like, if that just made him say, "I don't want to talk boxing anymore."
Dude, he went out. I remember he used to call everyone a racist, dude. That shit was funny. No, he used to go on BDA, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't Stu fucking hate him?
Stu, Precise, Bucho. I think Bucho hated him.
Dude, because he hated on all the white fighters. And his pound for pound list was dumb as fuck. He's like, he literally had Stevenson pound for pound number one. Because he knocked out, his reasoning was like he knocked out Tony Bellew. Hey, that knockout of Tony Bellew was pretty fucked up, though. That shit's funny as hell.
Yeah, 3 lives were ruined that night. Vodik's life, Stevenson's life, and Lowplace's life.
Dude, Vosdik was too much of a nice guy, dude. Like, you can tell that guy he was never a killer, dude.
And you know, when he fought Bitter Biev, he was like slapping the glove. It was like he didn't even want to hit him.
It's like he didn't have that same kind of punching with bad intentions anymore.
Nope.
Well, they say
even
that
the African guy was schooling him, right? And then he faked to have like a leg injury. He faked to have like a leg injury. It was like, all right.
He just never looked the same mentally, dude.
No.
Yeah, because he dude, like he's going into the ring and he's just looking at it from a competitive like he's not like a fan. He's not a fan of boxing because he's doing it. He's actually doing it, and he's like he just sees Stevenson as an honorable guy in terms of boxing. Like, oh, he's gonna fight me, so I honor that. Just want to beat him. I don't want to kill him. You know, and shit worked. You know, it turned out that way.
I can't lie, dude. I still like watching him getting knocked the fuck out by Vosdick because he's a piece of shit. Fuck that dude.
Oh,
man.
I mean, listen. Hey, listen. What he did, you have to have a certain type of attitude about life to do that. That's my opinion. It's like, you know, you can excuse a guy who maybe, let's say, fucking, I don't know, stole a car.
Yeah, like rob
Yeah.
someone or something.
Yeah.
But dude, like I have more respect for a fucking murderer, so long as it's like, you know,
Right.
within
Like a
reason. It's not like you,
gangbanger. Let's say if a
yeah,
gangbanger
like
went
you
after
kill a
some
rival
guy.
gang
Yeah.
member or you kill someone in a
It's
street
still
fight or
fucked
something.
up. Yeah, it's still
It's
fucked up, but
I have more respect for that than someone who fucks with it with children like that, dude.
yeah.
That shit's just fucked up. People, you know, I always found it funny how like the black community on YouTube loved Adonis Stevenson.
Because he was a piece of shit, just like them.
Like the LDBC, they fucking love Stevenson. Because you know, unlike you know, they thought Kovalev by having that monkey T-shirt, they thought that was even worse than like you know, being a chomo or something.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I mean they thought that was worse than what he was actually, you know, doing and shit. Yeah.
Hey, that monkey shirt shit was funny.
But I heard that he had called like Kovalev a white monkey first.
Yeah, he called him like a snow monkey.
Okay, so he responded back.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm gonna be honest, man. Adonis Stevenson, like, let me not go there.
no, forget it. Don't even say it.
Have you ever seen the video of him celebrating?
Damn, man. But did Stevenson make a big deal about that, or like just like people did? You know, people that saw that. Was it on Twitter or whatever?
I don't know. I wasn't really too involved in like the YTBC back then or anything, so. I mean, I kind of saw it, and I saw like Dante's Boxing Nation was crying about it, and like it was people made out like it was just the worst thing ever.
Well, they don't want to like him, right? They want people to not like Kovalev. So they're like,
Right.
oh, look, man. You see, if he thinks of Stevenson as a monkey, then or gorilla, whatever he had, he thinks of all people like that. It's like, nah,
Yeah.
this doesn't like him because the guy called him
Yeah.
a white monkey first.
He called him a snow monkey.
A snow monkey.
That shit's kind of funny. Hey, I remember Andre Ward said that Kovalev called him the N-word.
Oh, Andre Ward said that, right?
Yeah, Andre Ward apparently said that Kovalev called him the N-word.
Yeah, I don't believe him. I don't believe half-breeds.
Fuck that fucking guy, dude. I hate him.
Yeah, half-breeds
Hey,
they lie. They lie too much.
My favorite Kovalev moment is when he told Clarissa Shields to her face, "Women shouldn't be boxing."
What's wrong with that? He's right. It's like, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, do
Dude.
what you want. I don't care, but it's like, did you feel comfortable talking about an 18-year-old girl who got killed in the ring, man?
Hey, I like it.
Yeah,
Man.
that's fucked up,
I
dude.
like it. I like it.
Do you like
Jordan
women's
improves.
boxing?
Jordan improves women's boxing. Yes, he does. That's right. Let's get it.
Precise was saying that like a year ago. He said the end game is to just get a girl to fight a man, and then she just gets killed. And then like a few months ago, Thunderdome was like, "I'd like to see Amanda Nunes fight a man."
No,
It's
hell
just
no.
like something like that. I forget what he said. It's
Dude,
like,
look,
oh man, like
honestly, I would like to see Clarissa Shields fight Jake Paul.
there you go. That's the end game, right?
I don't think he'd kill her, but I think he'd knock her out.
No, but
Nah, hell dog. I don't know where you're going. I don't like where you're going with this.
even like a year before, nobody would even consider putting a woman against a man, even in a fight that you would want to see.
She
You
said
know?
that she could beat Keith Thurman and give Triple G a good fight.
Yeah, but that's just blasphemy, and nobody would even dream of just saying, "Okay, let's let him fight." Then
It's
What,
getting
what
closer
about
to
if we got Clarissa Shields versus like Chocolatito, like a manlet versus like a big, powerful black
I still
woman?
pick the manlet, bro. I think the manlet wins.
Could you imagine like Chocolatito just beating Clarissa the fuck up?
he would. He actually
yeah, he
would. Beat
would.
them. Yeah.
All right, what if we got like the minimum weight champion of the world versus Clarissa Shields?
He
And
would beat her
had
too.
He would beat
He
her. He
had
just punched.
no. He has to weigh in at minimum weight, so he has to have like a.
He would still beat
60
her by knockout, and it would be brutal.
I don't know. I think if Clarissa
Have you seen
Shields
those
has-
minimum weight guys fight? They're like the most skilled
Yeah, I
fighters in
know,
all of
but
boxing, man.
60 pounds of weight would surely be like enough to soak up the punches from like a tiny little dude. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
It'd be interesting. It'd be interesting.
She was getting dropped by some of those like Amero bums that she was fighting, wasn't she? Shields?
Yeah, didn't she? Yeah, she did get dropped.
Yeah, she was getting dropped by like feather-fisted girls.
Yeah, she would get destroyed by the littlest champion. The punch
Yep.
on those punches to her stomach would feel like stab wounds to her.
And they'd be clipping her chin all night.
Mm-hmm. They probably had to take it easy on her and just hit her with a body shot to get her the fuck out of there.
And it was like, you remember they were discussing her versus Layla Ali, and when everybody started picking Layla Ali, all of a sudden that fight was like off. It wasn't in discussion anymore.
Yeah, Layla Ali probably beats her still.
Yeah, dude, Layla Ali hit like a man, dude.
She definitely did, man. She would have beat her up probably now.
Yeah, that's what everyone was saying. That's why they.
You know who would kill her because she's manly like her? Ann Wolf. Ann Wolf
for
would
sure,
kill her.
but Ann Wolf had like a
That'd be a good fight.
submissive complex to her when she was actually fighting, though.
Are you
Right?
talking
She would
about
like talk a lot of shit, and then when someone
You
got
know,
in her face,
are
she
you
was kinda
imagining
like-
hitting it right now?
Hold on.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yujiro Hanma says El Doggy versus Clarissa Shields in the bedroom. Listen, I'd rather fight fucking Triple G than have to fuck Clarissa Shields.
You didn't like that ass? You didn't like that ass on her?
Bro,
I'd
she
probably
has a dick.
I'd probably rather hit Clarissa Shields than Triple G, bro. Then get beat up by Triple G.
She'd probably have your feet behind your ears,
She probably got
I
something.
wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, I agree with get these hands. It doesn't matter how good or big Clarissa is, but biology would always be superior. Yeah. Absolutely, man.
Okay, what if Clarissa Shields were to fight like a gatekeeper at minimum weight?
I would pick the gatekeeper.
Okay, what about like a minimum weight
She
bum?
could probably beat some guys. That's what L Dog's trying to get at here.
Yeah, she could probably beat some minimum.
A
I'm
minimum
sure
weight
she-
bum that was in his 50s, then I would maybe slightly give an edge to
I can
Shields.
find some like chumps like on the street. They probably get there. Like a lot of bugmen. You know what the bugmen are,
Oh yeah.
right, Eldo? Yeah, get the bugmen in there. You know those
Yeah,
fucking.
she'll whip their ass because they'll be like,
Yeah,
I
she'll
can't
beat all
hit,
those guys. But
can't hit her. Can't do that. Ow! Yeah, so you next thing you hear, ow, and he just quits.
I don't believe in hitting women.
But she believes in hitting you.
Clarissa Shields talks a
Democratic
lot of
Party.
shit, man. Like she talks a lot of shit. She always supports the black people as well. Like even if the black dudes get like fucked up, she'll say they won. Like I don't know how you guys felt about it, but to be honest, I thought Jake Paul clearly outboxed Woodley. Like that was not very competitive in my opinion.
I thought he
And
won, but it was
you
an
thought
ugly
Jake
fight.
Paul beat him?
Yeah, I thought Paul won.
And
But it
she
was an
thought
ugly
that
fight.
fucking Woodley destroyed him.
Yeah, because she's a racist.
I mean, what's
I
She's
mean-
openly racist, so it's like,
Uh,
who cares
destroy-
what her opinion is?
Yeah, her opinion is very faulty. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing I would take serious.
Yeah, don't,
Anything she tells me when it comes to race, I would just automatically assume she's just making it up.
and it shows that even though she's a professional boxer, 10-time champion, she doesn't know shit about
yeah.
boxing.
Yeah, she's
Well-
shitty. Actually, a shitty fighter. I don't like the way she fights.
Women boxers, it's not that they're like physically weaker, which they are. They can't punch as hard. They can't punch as fast. It's also that they're like just not as good technically. Like they're just not, dude. In my opinion, the average number one woman in their weight class in pro boxing is about as good as the average 15-year-old amateur boxer who's on the national team. Like
That 15-year-old probably would kick their ass though.
maybe
If
not
they're
kick
the
their
same-
ass, but
They
he
were
would
in the same
definitely-
weight.
Like I'm saying, whoever's on the national team for like
The junior
UK, Australia, New Zealand, America, they would probably be able to beat or at least give a good fight to the best female in their weight class who's a pro.
I think if you're talking same weight class, 15 or 16-year-old amateur
Yeah.
beats up any girl that's the top girl in her weight class professionally, and she's the
And here,
best.
I'll tell you a story right here, right? When I played basketball, we as 8th graders, we had to play the women, right? The women, because they were like seniors, and they went to state, right? So they were one of the best basketball teams in the state for women's. And as 8th graders, we beat them. They didn't even score a point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Absolutely.
dude.
I believe it for sure.
I mean,
It was practice, right? So like they didn't score a point. Yeah.
You guys had no mercy on them, right? It was like fuck.
No, man.
Yeah.
there's one female who I think can actually box a bit, and that's Amanda Serrano. I think she could probably beat the 15-year-old.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
And Katie Taylor.
She would beat the fuck out of Katie Taylor, but dude, Katie Taylor might get a robbery. Like, have you guys ever seen the first Delphine Persoon fight?
I heard of it, and I got to be honest. I don't even. I know there's some people on YouTube that like women boxing. I just don't watch it, man.
Yeah, same here. I walk away, I go do something else, man. I go
Yeah.
drink water in peace or something.
If I had to clip my nails on my feet, I'd rather do that.
I don't know. Like sometimes sometimes I'll just watch it if like there's
Why
literally
not both,
nothing.
man?
If there's nothing else to do, I'll like watch it and I'll like kind of check my phone. But I actually watched that Pursoon fight because, you know, guys on YouTube, I think Ring IQ was saying like what a great fight it was going to be. So I was like, you know, maybe I'll check it out. She got her ass kicked and fucking still won the fight.
Right, like I follow Ring IQ. I'm sub to him. Sometimes I watch his shows, but when he talks about the women, I just automatically just skip the video. I
He
might
talks
just
too
click
much,
on it.
man.
I just might click on it to give him a thumbs up, but other than that,
Yeah.
I don't watch it.
So it's
mean,
like,
he's
you know,
alright.
he'll have like a video, and it'll be like, you know, 20 minutes, and I'll be like, okay, if I fast forward through this, right? Because you know how you can change the speed.
Yeah.
It's like if I make it to like 2.0, then I can get done within like less than 10 minutes, you know. If it's like
Yeah.
close to 20. And then you turn on the video, it's already going at like 2 times speed. So he's actually talking for like 40 minutes. Right? Because he always has that chipmunk voice, and it's because he's speeding up his stuff because he's
Yeah.
talking so much. It's like, oh man, I don't know if I can stay tuned for that time span.
Yeah, he
It's like-
hates the PBC, man. Like he hates the PBC so much. I mean, the PBC, yeah, they do some shitty things, but I'm gonna be honest, they do give some good fights.
Like which ones?
Spence Porter, they gave us, you know, this year in particular, they gave us Fulton versus
Well, they Miri?
what's that dude's name? No.
You're thinking of Angelo Leo. I thought
Yeah,
Angelo Leo got robbed, man.
Fulton
Fulton,
versus
all
him.
Fulton did was hold him the whole time.
I thought he won, man. He just
I thought he
fucking clinched him
lost.
and hit.
I thought he held too much.
I don't like that. I call it the American clinch style. I don't like that shit, dude.
American clinch style or anybody clinching period, it's just a sign of submission. That's all that is.
Yeah, they wouldn't allow it anywhere else.
Yeah.
I don't mind it every once in a while, okay? Like, if you get caught with a big shot, fine. You hold maybe 1, 2, or 3 times. But when it hits the third time, dude, the ref got to be like, you keep holding, I'm going to take a point.
If you get hurt and you find yourself in clinching, okay, that I understand. Because you just got to,
Yeah, exactly. Because you automatically get stopped if you don't clinch. Because like,
right.
If you look at Zucan, right? Zucan fought some dude. Like when he got hurt, like he didn't clinch at all, and then they stopped it.
Right. Exactly. So
because he didn't know how to just tackle the other dude.
So I was arguing with Jay, boxing chief, on BDA today. So we were arguing the knockdown that should have been called for Kaviluskas, and so we're arguing how he went down, and I'm like, dude, so I forgot what the sequence was. It was a right hook, I think, a straight right. I think it was like a little right hook that catches Terrence Crawford, and it causes him to lean towards Kaviluskas to grab him, and then Kaviluskas is still throwing punches, hitting him, and then he goes down. Like, that's
his
a
knee
knockdown.
Touches the ground.
Yeah, that's a knockdown. And he's
because it was caused by a punch.
Exactly, but he's like, no. That's that could have been ruled either way. I'm like, no, it's only one way to rule that, and that's a fucking knockdown. He caused it with a punch. That's what caused the whole sequence for him to grab him because he was hurt. He didn't want to get stopped. If he doesn't do that, then he's allowing Kaviluskas to hit him with more shots, and his brain is already rattled. The next thing you know, he's going to get knocked out.
Hey, drop the link, Recognize. I got some people wanting to jump on.
All right.
Oh, we dropped the link.
But yeah, I kind of think in boxing, to be honest, like I don't like the clinch being used as like if you're a back foot fighter, I don't like it as soon as you get on the ropes.
They're using it as a form of defense.
Yeah, you clinch, and then the action gets reset so you can move around again. And then as soon as you get in a spot where you can't move, you clinch, and it gets reset. Like, to me, that's that shouldn't be allowed. You shouldn't be able to like.
It sounds like Floyd Mayweather is what it sounds like.
Yeah, I don't think you should be allowed to do that. I don't think you should be allowed to, as soon as you get on the ropes, just fucking clinch if you're not hurt. That shit ain't good, dude. Like,
No,
I
and
think the
clinch.
ref
So
should
you're
actually
generally
warn them.
allowed to tie up, right? But people don't know what an actual tie up is and what an actual clinch is. So a tie up is you hold your arms out, but you put it like around the other guy's elbow, right? So he can't really get leverage when he punches. You're allowed to do that, but you can't grab him and hook it.
That's right.
Yeah, I think like literally if a fighter's back touches the ropes and they do like what a lot of American fighters do, which is they bend down and they kind of smother you and they get right in there and they clinch. That should be a warning from the ref immediately. Don't clinch when you get on the ropes like that. You know, if you get hurt, you get clipped with a big shot, you clinch.
Yeah, but you're kind of
Okay,
like you're basically describing Stephen Fulton versus Angelo Leo.
hey, who's this?
That was good.
That is
Yeah.
Yuji Hanma, Yujiro.
Who
I
this?
was gonna say, man, this is gonna be a good fight. You know, Crawford Porter. I can't wait. I think Crawford the more I wouldn't say skilled, but more complete welterweights because the welterweights right now are they're not as good as we think they are. The welterweights right now, I think Crawford's slightly better than most welterweights, but not by a lot. I think he's better than Spence. I always thought Crawford was better than, and since Pacquiao's old, you have to put at the top, in my
Hey, your
opinion.
mic is all like
It's gonna be a good fight.
muffled.
Let me fix it. Hold
Yeah,
up.
But yeah, I agree. I think the welterweights are really overrated, dude. Like, there are some guys who think Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, Errol Spence, Keith Thurman are all Hall of Fame fighters.
Yeah, right. They're none of him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, look, if Keith
They're not even considered champions, so it's like, how are you gonna even be a Hall of Famer?
if Keith beat Pacquiao, I'd say he probably is a Hall of Famer. I mean, or at least he's getting close. But nah, none of these dudes are really
Listen,
Hall of
They
Famers.
had this guy Yugas who beat Pacquiao, and he's still behind, like he's number 5 or something like that. It's like
Yeah.
makes no
Oh,
sense in the
so I was
rankings.
gonna say I think Crawford's slightly, not by a lot, but slightly the best welterweight today, which doesn't say a lot because the welterweights today are not as good as we think they are. You know, Spence, I always seen flaws in Spence. Pacquiao's old. Ugas is okay, but yeah, he's not special. Thurman's whatever. Porter's there, but he has no accuracy, and so I would say Crawford's the best welterweight. But honestly, the welterweight division right now is up for grabs. Right now, anybody could be the top dog right now. So let's just see what happens. Porter, Crawford's a great fight. I think Crawford wins, but anything could happen. But I'm
That's a
mainly going
good
off the
point,
eye
dude.
test.
That's a good point. I think the division's really overrated, dude. People said it was the best division in boxing. Can't be the best division if none of these guys like dude.
It used to
I'll
be.
tell you what. I'll tell you what was a good division. 140, because they all fucking fought each other. Cruiserweight when Usyk, Gassiev, Bradis, and those guys were there. That was the best division in boxing. They were all undefeated champs. They all mixed it up.
They all
They
got
There
in
was
that
no
tournament.
American in there, so
Yeah, there was. His name
He's
was Tabidi, and he
147.
couldn't even make the tournament. Remember
Tabidi
what
got
happened to Tabidi, dude? That guy clinched like a motherfucker, and then Dorticos just smashed him with that
Remember,
fucking punch.
Tabidi was gonna be the guy that beats Usyk.
Oh yeah, the Mayweather gym. After Usyk became undisputed and like defended it against Bellew, did a video like who would win between Andrew Tabidi and Usyk, and that like all the dudes at the Mayweather gym were like, "Oh man, Usyk a dog," but I think Tabiti finna beat him, man. I think he finna beat him. And they would always like ask why they would always say the same thing, dude. It's like, oh, Tabiti, he real athletic. He fast and he's slick. And it's like, okay, have you seen Usyk? He's fucking faster, way more like skilled.
Usyk is alright, dog. He's alright.
Yeah, he
But he ain't
alright.
got that
He
Tabiti.
good. He
He ain't
good,
got
but
that
who he
Tabiti speed, man.
they'll say he good, but who he really fought though? He fought a bunch of people in Europe. And then you're like, okay, what about Andre Ward? Oh, but that's different though. I always found that funny, right? People like, oh, Canelo only fights European fighters, and it's like, dude, Andre Ward only fought Europeans.
There was nobody else in
Speaking
that weight
of
class.
Usyk Adrian, you have to watch, man. Watch Anthony Joshua versus Felix Savon.
Styles
in the
make
Olympics.
fights.
Yep.
Felix Savon. Watch Felix Savon and AJ in the Olympics, and you'll see how much AJ struggles with movers because he has to move his feet in order to land. His punches versus movers, and he's always off balance after he throws his punch, and he's just wide open to get countered and caught.
Dude, he got
Usyk,
clearly beat in that
stylistically,
fight against Savon.
Yeah, that
Usyk
was the
has his
worst robbery. Like,
Dude, that was terrible.
people bring up his fight in the final. Look, that was a fight. Yeah, I thought he lost. It could have gone either way. But the fight against Savon was like way worse. That was bad. But yeah, Usyk will give AJ trouble. But I mean, that's a good point because AJ's only fought one southpaw as a pro, and he only went 2 rounds with him, and that was fucking Charles Martin. Like, Charles Martin's just a meme, really. I mean, Charles Martin lost to fucking Kalnacki.
Yeah, he did. Tabiti couldn't even get past Doricos. Not saying that Doricos is terrible. He's not. But he couldn't, like, Doricos lost to Gassiev. He got knocked out. He got stopped. Usyk schooled. Well, I wouldn't say school. I think he just beat him. I don't think he really schooled Gassiev like that. I thought that fight
think
was.
he
The thing that makes
schooled
the
him, man.
fight good. The thing that makes this fight good is obviously AJ's power, but I think AJ is gonna be faster. Like I think he's gonna be quicker on his feet than we expect. I think he might pivot inwards to get Usyk off of his ankles, kind of like how Teal did versus Loma. But the difference is this is heavyweight boxing, so the bigger guy is gonna gas out, and I feel like in the late rounds, that's when Usyk's gonna take
AJ's
it
not
on
gonna gas
AJ.
out, man.
Hey, here's the
I
thing.
think he
If
is, man.
and this is what a lot of people don't understand. Like when people say Tio cut Loma's angles off, he did, right? That's true. But when people say he'll KO him in the rematch, it's like, no, you can neutralize that angle by pivoting and punching. But if you pivot and punch, that punch is not going to have anywhere near as much power. So
Exactly.
if AJ does pivot and punch, I mean, that's his power neutralized. He might be able to get that angle, but you think AJ can maintain that pace and that kind of shit for 12
No,
rounds?
he's not.
Oh,
Hell no.
he's not gonna
That's
tire, man.
no. He's not. He's not. That's why I said he's gonna gas out late. He's gonna get tired, and Usyk.
No,
Usyk's
AJ's
a
not
guy-
gonna gas out late either.
Come on, dude.
come
There's
on.
no amount of
He is, but he
steroids that
is,
AJ could take to fucking.
He's a
Dude, they
machine,
can-
man.
He's not
muscles,
even fucking
dude.
human.
so much oxygen. Plus, the thing about Usyk, man, I've never seen a cruiserweight, right? I've never seen a cruiserweight in the modern era like Usyk that can like step it up in the championship rounds, man. Like this dude fights in the championship rounds like he's fighting in the first 4 rounds. His stamina is insane, and he even showed great stamina versus Chisora. Yeah, I know people say he looked like shit that fight, but you can't tell me his stamina didn't look great that fight. AJ, the longer this fight goes on, the more of a chance AJ is gonna get his face battered. Because if you go in the late rounds with Usyk, it's gonna get fucked up.
I think I saw a video of AJ hitting the bag or something. He looked slim. It did look slim.
Really slim.
Hey,
Yeah.
look,
But he
that'll
might
help
sacrifice
him.
power.
Did he look slim or did he just not look as juiced up?
There you go. He just didn't look as juiced up because he's still cut up, right?
Yeah,
He
but he's
was.
Hey,
probably taking some stamina shit instead of like the muscle stuff.
He's
but
probably doing that.
dude, Usyk's team made a good point. Someone said, "What do you feel about AJ, losing weight?" And they said, "Well, all that means is the weight advantage is going to be less of a problem for us."
It's a good
Look,
point.
man, the thing about that taking steroids for stamina, I mean, that's good and all, but when you're fighting someone like Usyk's the type of fighter, and Loma too, both of them, even Pacquiao as well. Like these fighters, they're pressure fighters, but they tire you out so many different ways. They tire you out physically, they tire you out,
Mentally.
in the gas tank, and most importantly, they tire you out mentally. And those steroids, they're not gonna fucking fix you mentally to the point where like you don't get tired out or exhausted mentally, because that's what Usyk does. Those fucking angles, they tire you out. They tire a motherfucker out. AJ is not gonna take that in late rounds. Trust me. If this fight goes late, AJ is gonna get his fucking face battered. I don't know if Usyk stops AJ. Maybe if AJ's too light, he might get stopped. But Usyk's gonna definitely win the late rounds by a large margin.
His game plan shouldn't be even considering AJ slowing down. Like,
Yep.
He does slow
That's
down.
don't
what,
even consider it.
dude. If Usyk comes like, I'm gonna say, if he comes in the low 220s, 222, 224, and he's lean like he was at cruiserweight, I might pick him to win, dude. But I've heard rumors that he's coming in like the 230s, and I'm thinking if he does that, that's a mistake. Like, he should not be weighing as much as AJ. He should be
He's gonna
weighing
try to
less.
knock him out. That's what the sound. It
I
sounds
don't
like.
know if it's worth it though, man. Like, he should be low 220s because he was weighing in against Chisora like 214, and I think that was too little. I think that's too little to beat a guy like AJ. He should be like 224 though.
I
Yeah,
agree.
weight
That's a
really
good way.
doesn't matter, man. So if Deontay Wilder was 209, I would pick Deontay Wilder to knock out AJ.
Yeah, but Wilder, I mean, that guy.
Yeah.
He
When we're
can
talking before he
Yeah.
went through his crazy phase that's still going.
That'll never end.
Man,
I wonder what I'm kind of curious about that fight for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's because it's getting closer. The
who?
Wilder Fury fight.
I hope
I
the
gotta-
undercard's the same, man.
The undercard's the same, dude. I got a feeling that I got a feeling Wilder's gonna knock Fury the fuck out. Like, I'm just not liking what Fury's doing now. Like, he went back to the UK. He hasn't been saying shit. Like, Sugar Hill hasn't been training him.
He hasn't. Sugar Hill has been training him.
Apparently not.
That's bad, but man, I'm still picking Fury just because Malik Scott is that ass of a trainer. I don't trust him. Malik Scott's trash in training. That's why I'm picking Fury. Malik Scott ain't fixed shit, man. He ain't fixed shit.
Yeah, I kind of
Yeah,
agree.
Malik Scott, he comes off as a cheerleader. Like,
They all do.
if you listen to Malik Scott when he's training Wilder, like, he'll be like, "That's good, King. That's good, King. Work the body, King. Work the body, King." And he'll be
Is
like,
that part of the requirement to train him? You got to call him King. I'm thinking that's what it is.
Dude, he put like they uploaded like training highlights, and like his highlights was he completely
A
missed
body
the
shot.
mitt with the right.
Have you seen that one? This dumb motherfucker tried to throw an overhand right to the body. It's like, dude, the overhand right is like a fucking headshot. You're not throwing that to the body, you idiot. And he like falls over.
That's why I say, dude. Malik Scott's a horrible. I don't know who's worse though, Matt, because that fucking JD guy, his old trainer, that dude was ass, dude. I would watch his pad work and I would cringe. I was like, "Are you serious? Like, is this a meme? Like, you can't be serious." Like that pad work with JD was like horrible, man. Man,
Yeah, and I
poor Wilder. Because
remember.
come on, let's not lie. Let's not lie, dude. Wilder, he has talent. Like he has power. He's kind of athletic. He's long. He's tall, but man, that dude has like the worst trainers that he can
It's
ever
not the
have, man. I feel
trainers,
sorry
man,
for him.
because the trainers will be standing in one spot with their hand and it's not moving, and Wilder will completely miss it.
You know what I
Yeah,
think
but
it
like a
is?
trainer fixes it though. Like a trainer fixes that shit. Like he'll tell Wilder, "Hey, hit, come on, do better." They don't do that. They just
Yeah, but
baby him.
Wilder's
The
one of
only
these
guy.
dudes you can't teach. That's what Breland said. He said, "I tried to teach this dude.
Yeah,
This
with
dude
that,
doesn't."
and
Yeah, you
yeah,
can't
and
teach a guy
that's
like
when
that. You
a
can't.
good trainer will kick you out the gym if you act like that. Like Robert Garcia, he
No,
said
no. But
once.
you see, here's the thing. What happened with Wilder was his career went past expectations, right? So like he clearly said he was cool with just being a journeyman, just to make some money to support his one daughter that had some issues, right? Like health issues. So he went he passed those expectations in terms of like the way his career was guided. And so now he's like, oh, fuck that. I don't need to learn boxing. I don't he really believes he's like, man, I'm that good. I mean, he doesn't see it as he's fighting bums, guys who are just there to like get knocked out or whatever. He really thinks that there's nothing to fix, and then he goes in there against Tyson Fury and he gets knocked out. So now he's thinking he needs to pick up on certain things, but they're not. He's too far gone. In other words, what they're trying to teach him just to get him for this fight. Now, who knows? He might just knock him out, but I
Yeah.
guarantee you, it won't be because of the great stuff he's learned.
No, I agree. I agree. And I'm a guy. I believe you can teach old dog tricks. We've seen it with Rosado. Rosado's a great example. I like Rosado, but Wilder isn't
Yep.
Rosado. Rosado's willing to learn. Wilder isn't. Plus, Rosado went with Freddie Roach. Who the fuck did Wilder go with? Fucking Malik Scott. Come on, man. Wilder ain't
That's what
fixing
I.
shit.
There are
That's,
all types of different dogs, and not all of them can learn at an old age.
look,
Yeah,
I'm gonna say
exactly.
Wilder's problem. Like he's athletic in some ways, but you know, being able to jump high and being able to sprint fast, those are good indications of athleticism, but there's also coordination and reflexes. He has no coordination and reflexes, man. Like he just doesn't move out of the way of punches, and his coordination is awful, dude. He just can't coordinate his body right. He's like clumsy.
Yeah, but you can tell,
And
like,
he's like
if
a sub 80 IQ individual. Like he's actually in the
Yeah,
mental
you're right.
retardation range. Like
Yeah,
he's
you're
just
actually right about
stupid.
that. Yeah, you're
Like the
actually right
guy
about
just
that.
I
can't.
was
I'm
thinking,
telling you, he can't think logically. Like if someone hits him with a right hand, it doesn't go through his head. Okay, I need to avoid that. He just like she good punch, and he just like that's all that goes through his head.
Shit.
yeah, you're right about that. You're right about that. But I mean, I think if he had trained with Sugar Hill or some shit, or Matthew
Yeah, I
Stewart
almost
at a
got my
young
ass
age,
knocked out.
he might be a bit better. A bit better.
I think Wilder actually believes he was cheated. He's so fucking stupid. He can't realize that he lost because Fury just can actually box and is bigger than him. And now apparently Wilder's coming in at 240. Like,
Yeah, suddenly he's like
Yo,
240, right?
dude, he could have got to 240 if he spent the whole year working out, right? And like, but dude, this guy's gonna be muscle bound because you can't add weight that quickly and move
It's
the
all
same how
juice,
you
man.
used
It's
to.
not like actual weight.
Yeah,
I think Wilder's at his best when 210, 215, because that's when he has the speed. When he fought versus Fury, he was in the 226, right? No, 229. He looked fucking sloppy after 5, 4 rounds. He just bulked up too much. He
He
looked
gained the
sloppy.
weight too fast, and his body couldn't adjust. It's like if he does the same thing,
Yeah,
he's
he's
making
a
the same mistake.
You're
This
not
guy's
gonna gain
dude.
30 pounds
Who the
just
who the
Yeah.
fuck
doing
manages
boxing, right?
Wilder, man? Dude, any nutritionist would have known if you gain 15 pounds in one camp, you're gonna be sloppy as fuck. I don't know who the fuck manages Wilder. Whoever does is a fucking retard. That's
It's
like
not a
common knowledge.
nutritionist that's making him gain 30
Yeah.
pounds. That's
Well,
why,
who is
man.
it? Like he has to be managed by like, dude. Wilder's a fucking retard, man. I'm telling you.
Whoever's
Like
giving
it's
him his
common sense.
steroids. That's it, man.
Well,
A steroids
Because,
coach is a steroids coach, man. He's not a boxing coach.
dude, I'll bulk up. Because I've bulked up before. I felt like shit. Like, dude, I can't imagine. Like, man, Wilder, man, whoever the fuck is on Wilder's team, man. I feel sorry for them.
It
Fucking
takes time
dumbasses, man.
to add mass and do it right. Like if you look at fighters who, like, aren't obvious juice cheats, it'll take them a couple fights to get used to that weight class. Like even if you're on juice, it'll take you a couple fights. Like look at Canelo, dude. It took him a couple fights to really get adjusted to above 160.
And that's what I like about Usyk. Usyk's had a honestly, we whine about his inactivity, but let's look at the positive. He's had it's been 2 years now, maybe even 3 years that he's had time to gain a bit of muscle and fat and get used to it at heavyweight. Because his last fight at cruiserweight was in 2018 in November. It's been 3 years. It's literally been 3 years. So that's a positive look at for Usyk. He's had time to adjust. So
I get the
yeah.
feeling that Usyk, because of his earlier, you go watch some of his videos of when he was fighting like at certain fights at heavyweight. It was at the heavyweight limit. Or excuse me, it was over the cruiserweight limit of 200. And you see him, right? And he's kind of like in just his normal shape, his regular out of the ring shape. I think this time he's just bulking up the little bit of fat that he would gain naturally, right? And that's what he's doing for this fight. So when they say he's walking around 230, I'm thinking he's been walking around that way for a long time already.
Yeah, probably
He
since
tore
like
his bicep after Gassiev.
Right.
You remember that? So after Gassiev, he tore his bicep. That's why he's been inactive for however long. So yeah, he's gonna naturally gain some weight, or he's gonna be walking around at that weight.
Go watch some of his earlier fights. You can tell he's over 200. Like that fight was made. Some of these fights were like over the 200 weight limit, and you could see. I'm like looking at it. I was like, that guy's
I mean
220.
with Usyk, right? He's had some time to gain weight. Like it's been a pretty gradual process, but when he was at cruiserweight, he probably walked around like in the high 220s. Now he's probably just walking around in the 230s. Like,
Yeah,
it's not that much of a
Yeah.
difference. I think what I hope is not the case is that he comes in at 230. I want him to be low 220s.
I think mid 220s is probably the best for him for this fight. At least, because you don't have to be super quick to fight AJ. He's kind of slow, so you don't have to be
But
super
I think it
quick.
will help, man. I think it'll help.
But the thing that interests me a lot is AJ cutting weight and getting down. I don't know how much he weighs, but he looks in the 240s, I think. In my opinion, I think he looks 240s, high 240s. Maybe 250 if that
he looks
stretches
lower
it.
than He looks lower than 245 from what I saw.
Yeah, so this is pretty interesting fight. AJ will be faster, but he will lose that power, and he will lose also punch resistance. This is a great fight. I can't wait. This is the most interesting fight. Well, it's only interesting because of AJ's power. That's it. Because if that wasn't the case, Usyk fucking washes him. But yeah, man, I can't
That
wait.
I think Ness said it well in the chat. He said, "Well, I just hope Fury is not getting nuts again on depression. That would be a disaster on fight night." That when I say I'd have a feeling Wilder might get him, what I really mean is I have a feeling Fury's gonna fuck up the fight. Wilder can't beat Fury, okay, but Fury can sure as hell fuck up the fight and lose. He can fuck it up for himself if he's just
Yeah.
mentally unstable. He's not attending his training sessions. He's fucking binge eating and binging on drugs, and he can fuck it up for himself. I mean, this guy.
Or unless he's just saying to himself, I don't really think I need. Now I know exactly how to beat him, so I don't
Yeah,
really have
who
to do
cares?
much. Yeah, I know exactly how to beat this guy. Could that backfire on him? I guess. Look, if he comes there to win, like he's coming there to fuck him up, like he did in the second fight, I can't see why he can't do it again. I don't think there's anything Wilder did that could fucking change that fastly, but we'll see.
Yep.
This guy said he had Wilder win the first fight. Like, do you mean you predicted Wilder to win, or you thought he won the fight? Which one?
I'm trying to figure out if I know that face for some. Like, is that a?
That's from The Office
Yeah,
TV show.
there you go. Yeah, Fury's the second fight. Fury in the second fight put a clinic on Wilder. I'll admit that. Well, you have no choice. I'll give you credit for admitting it, but like you have no choice to admit that.
Fury put a clinic on him in the first one too.
Yeah, he schooled him in that one. He beat the shit out of him in the second fight. That's all he did.
Mm-hmm.
But he did say Wilder will be champion again after the fight. So who knows?
Yeah, I think it happened. What the thing that worries me about Fury is like I don't really believe in all that depression shit, but what I do really, I'll admit is that he loses concentration in the fight where he doesn't feel scared or he doesn't feel like it's a competitive, important fight. He's gonna lose focus. That's like he did that in that Steve Cunningham fight. He did it in the Otto Wallin fight. I like Fury. He's like one of my favorite fighters, but the dude fucking loses like concentration and focus in the fight, and it could bite him in the ass.
Yep. That's what I'm saying. He's just mentally unstable.
Yeah, he could beat himself. I mean, who knows? Maybe he's like, beating Wilder was good enough. If I can't get the Fury fight, the AJ fight in Saudi Arabia for a whole lot of money, I might as well just say fuck this whole thing, and don't take this fight serious and get knocked out. Because from the two fights, especially coming off the rematch, what would make people think that Wilder could beat him?
Yeah, he's got mental issues too, so it's weird.
Yeah, Wilder got mental issues. I think he's a lot more unstable. At least the way he presents himself in public, right?
Like, let's say he gets hit with a jab and his legs start to wobble again.
Yeah, it might
what
fuck
happens
with him.
then? Yeah,
it might fuck with him. Like get flashbacks and shit.
Actually, I thought this, and this was in the first fight in July, but I feel like Fury has lost a bit of hunger in the months leading up to October. But in July, I was saying this. I was like, man, I don't mean to Fed poster or anything, but I thought Fury coming into July was gonna like kill Wilder because look at this. Now I don't wish death on nobody in the ring, but let's be real, dude. Look at the fight, the rematch, right? The way Fury was throwing punches, he was putting his whole body behind that jab. He was putting his whole body behind that 1-2. Wilder doesn't know any defense, man. Poor thing. He doesn't know any defense. Dude, Fury, 270 pounds with near perfect technique on his 1-2s and his jab, landing over Wilder's head all night, right? Dude, Wilder is going to get really fucked up. If Fury is on his shit and he's 100%, Wilder might get seriously hurt in the fucking ring because that dude doesn't know any defense. I don't care what he's been learning with Malik Scott. He's learning combinations with Malik Scott. That's it. He's not learning no defense, no footwork, no counter punching. And
And
also,
I want to see it. I want to see someone get seriously hurt. Dude, I'm crazy, man.
Well, you did
Hey.
see it in the second fight.
And I want to see. I want to see it again.
He got hurt really bad. You know, L-Dog was talking about, I wish they didn't stop the fight because just to make it worse. But I'm like, I don't know if it could have got any worse, but it was just really bad. That's why they stopped it, man.
Fury knows Wilder even more now. It's the dirt fight, right? Fury's obviously the way more smarter guy. He's the way more high IQ boxer, right? So every time they fight, Fury's just gonna get more and more info on Wilder, and he's just gonna land more punches. That's just nature, right? That's how shit happens, right? Every rematch in history, the better boxer always lands more punches because he just knows the guy better. So, anyways, Fury, again, he outweighs Wilder by 60, 50 pounds. His whole fucking body behind that jab, man.
Yeah, I mean, well, let me answer this. Let me answer this question. Okay, so he says I've scored the first fight, Wilder winning. All right. Then he says, let me guess, you guys scored the first fight for Canelo versus Triple G as Triple G is the winner. Yeah, I mean, you're the crazy one that thinks that fucking Wilder won the first fight. I mean, what happened to every other round? He lost about 9, at least 9 rounds. And
boxing is about landed punches.
It's about landed punches. So, I mean, you think that us going to fight for Triple G over Canelo in the first fight is crazy, but you don't see that scoring the fight for Wilder is crazy in the first fight? Based off what? 2 knockdowns? You could argue those are the only 2 rounds he won, and he was actually losing those rounds too. Especially that 12th round.
It's just trolling, dude. It's just trolling. I know he's trolling because I've trolled before too, and I know when someone's trolling.
And I'm gonna change the subject, but it's something I wanted to say. It has to do with fucking the boxing establishment, the writers, all of these fag boys that work for the fucking establishment, right? These people, they want drug testing, okay? They fucking drug test everybody. Oscar Valdez pops dirty. Oh, but it's Oscar Valdez. They want to give him a pass, right?
Yep.
He goes into the fight dirty, loses. They give him a fucking gift decision. Right? They don't say anything. It's like they don't say anything afterwards either.
Yeah.
But you look at fucking 2 months ago, you had a guy who was clean, who was the only one who did testing, went in there, beat the other dude up, gets robbed, and they fucking laugh at the boxing fans' faces. I'm talking about Dougie Fisher Pacquiao, right?
Exactly.
And it's like, where do you want this sport really?
No,
it pisses me off, man.
They are part of that whole thing, right? So I know exactly what you're talking about with the whole Dougie Fisher thing, and I kind of like him, but like,
no, I don't mind him, but like, it's
what
like
are you trying to prove by saying that? What are you saying? Oh, like poking fun at Manny Pacquiao, and basically like saying anybody who thought he won, it's just like whatever it was. It was like you're a typical Pacquiao fan. Like that was such a poor statement. He's one of those guys that virtue signal, like, oh, look at me, I just keep it fair all the way. They'll make up shit like Pacquiao fans are like kind of racist, I'll call it out, or kind of too much of a fanboy, I'll call it out. I can't stand that shit. No, why don't you call it out when it really happens then? You know, that's it. Just call it out when it really happens.
Yeah, like literally the exact fucking reverse just happened last weekend,
Yeah,
right?
where are you, Dougie Fisher? How come you're not saying anything about that?
Yeah. So Oscar Valdez pops dirty, looks like shit. Everybody's saying he lost, and they're like, "Oh no, he won. He's clean,
Yeah.
retroactive, whatever." It's like, fuck you guys. You know, you guys should all get fired.
No, they're the ones that cover that whole thing up. That's what they do.
Yeah, but it's like, where as boxing fans, where do you move on from here? Right?
Yo,
You
no,
just
but
fucking
these
just ignore everything.
exactly. No, it's all
stupid,
about
man.
it's all about, oh, you know, come on, man, it's not that dirty. No, it is. It's actually that dirty, bro. It's really dirty sport. You know?
Yeah, it's so dirty that he looked fucking lost without his amphetamines, right?
Really low.
He didn't have his hyper focus without his Adderall. It's like, come on, man. It's very fucking obvious. But here you see Pacquiao, right? He's fighting these dudes that are dirty too. Everybody's saying he won. Right? Oh no, he lost.
Yeah.
Right? Everyone's saying Oscar Valdez lost. Oh no, he won.
He clearly lost the fight. And then you got Timothy Bradley. You know, he's such a fucking he's so disturbing as a analyst or whatever the fuck it is he does. He's like, oh, you know, even though I wanted Valdez to lose, he really won that fight. Shut the fuck up, man. He lost the fight in front of you, dumbass. So that means that whole spew of you going, oh, you know, he gets a pass, and this is wrong for boxing. He deserves, like, you're part of it. That's basically what you're doing. You're part of it. Because now you had the opportunity to say he lost the fight, and you're over here going the opposite. You know, even though I don't like him, you know, I gotta keep it real and say that he really won the fight. Dude.
And it's like, here's one. I don't care if he won the fight. The fight is a no contest. Here you go.
Right? At least say that. But
yeah,
no,
at least say that.
He doesn't even do that. And
no.
Was I watching it with you, Fight Scott? I don't even think I saw the fight, but it was on the stream. You showed me.
It was on the stream. We weren't watching. We were just joking around and messing around.
I came in later and saw just their facial, just to look at their face, and I was like, "Look, I didn't see the fight, but it looks like that the Brazilian guy won."
I mean, let's not pretend like the Brazilian dude was clean, right?
Oh no, the Brazilian dude is, come on, he was bigger than Valdez.
But he did everything by the rules, so it's like they didn't catch him. So it's like
I seen the fight live, and honestly, it was a good fight, but it depends how you score fights. That's what it comes down to. Valdez had the more volume, but the Brazilian guy, he was landing the better power, the better, more crisp shots. So it's one of those fights that are just weird to score. But honestly, if you watch the fight, the full fight, it's not, it was actually kind of pretty close in my opinion. But I have to rewatch it to see who won. I didn't score the fight. I was just watching because it was entertaining.
No, but here's the final verdict. Here's the final verdict, man. It's a no contest. There you go. Because the other guy popped dirty.
Right? Yeah, I'll admit the whole week was like a mess. It was just a mess leading up to the fight. Just a big old mess. I didn't really
boxing. The reason why boxing is not a real sport, in the sense of true competitive scoring a fight, it's because a lot of boxing fans buy into this nonsense, so the promoter sees nothing to change, right? So, like, for instance, if boxing would just keep losing business to the point where the promoter's not making anything, it'll make him change his game plan. But since he knows he can do this and get a fucking TV deal for one guy that brings in a certain amount of money, he's just going to keep doing the same shit. So when people look at boxing, they look at it as it's a political sport. It's not competitive. It's not competitive nature in the sense of like there's a criteria, right? Like if you look at baseball, football, it's all about who scores more than the other. Um, and so boxing don't have that. You can see a guy who's clearly winning, and they'll give the fight to somebody else. How the fuck are you supposed to get like casuals involved in that?
It goes to Thunderdome stream with Lawrence Cole too. He's
I
just
didn't
like,
see
well,
that
it's
one.
not. Oh, so he's like, well, it's not really about whatever. It's like about someone's personal judging, right? And it's like, yeah, but you literally, it's kind of like
What does that
a
even mean?
direct contradiction to what you were just saying about the book, right? Because all he did was just go through whatever he had to learn, which was just reading a book on how to score a fight, right? Or how to referee a fight. And it's like, I don't know, the way he explained it, it was fucking off. It was like, dude, that's how the book is, but we all know you guys are fucking corrupt too.
Yeah, you buy the
You
book
know,
when you
like,
want when you have no say in the situation.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You talk about the book, but you're not talking about like the part where you corrupt everything and everyone's in on it too.
Yeah.
So they're like, what about the low blows, right? You keep letting everybody low blow. And he's like, well, it really depends on that too. So if he's low blowing, it really depends on how the other guy's reacting. If it looks like it's not doing anything, I'm not going to try to interrupt the action. You know, but it's like, yeah, but clearly in those fights that he's letting those dudes low blow, they're clearly reacting to those low blows, you know, in a bad way. It's so fucking, I don't know, man. He was like, what were you gonna say?
It's rigged.
Yeah, everybody fucking knows it.
It's a crazy sport, but fun to watch. So,
Like that's why I'm not as excited. I'm not as excited to watch Usyk, AJ as maybe one would be, right? But then again, maybe if things weren't so fucking rigged, AJ wouldn't be at that spot. That's just keeping it honest, right? It's like,
yeah, and I was gonna say that earlier when Yuji, whatever, your El Meka Belico.
Oh yeah.
He was saying that. I was just like, I'm not even interested because they're not promoting the fight, right?
Nope.
You know
and why?
what I've
Why
noticed?
are they not promoting the fight? Because they don't want as many people watching it,
right?
To see what's going to happen.
I noticed because you guys are, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you guys? Like in your 30s, right? 40s?
I'm 30s. Yeah, I'm almost.
All right, because I've noticed every time I talk boxing, with old people, right? I mean, not to to be disrespectful, but because I'm younger.
I mean it honestly. Like, thanks.
Yeah,
I mean that
because I'm 20, right? So I started watching boxing like 6 years ago. So like I'm still
learning.
You know, I'm a bit. Yeah, I'm learning. I'm a bit innocent in boxing. I haven't seen as much robbery.
But you could already see it, right? You're 20 years old. You could already see it, though.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it, you know. But again, I'm not like y'all. Like y'all been watching for 30 years, probably, right? 40, 30 years. So like y'all have seen like crazy ass shit. I haven't yet, so I'm still kind of innocent.
No,
I still believe in stupid shit sometimes, but yeah,
it's only getting bad now. So it wasn't as bad even back then. Like sometimes you would have it bad, right? But like going back even just 2 years ago, it seems like every fight is just there's like an asterisk with every single fight. Like that didn't happen. Not even like 10 years ago.
Yep. It's just getting worse. Man, it's just getting worse now.
Yeah, but I've noticed like just like
I was saying earlier, I was on the BDA show, and Feisty, I don't know if you was listening, but I said, you know, like when you compare the 80s and the 90s, So especially the 80s, I brought up the example, like look at when Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns, Roberto Duran, Wilfred Benitez, Marvin Hagler, when they were all around, these are people that are from the Americas, right? So they all fought each other. They all got in the ring and fought. All those guys I just mentioned, with the exception of Hagler and Benitez, they all got down. They all had a fight with each other. And basically, the promoters learned from that, because a lot of these promoters are still around, and you don't have to be a promoter back then. You could be Eddie Hearn today and learn from that, right? So those guys could afford to have losses because they're only competing with each other. They're all Americans, right? They're all from the Americas. They can compete against each other. And, one promoter doesn't like that his fighter lost, but his fighter is, they're the only thing that's happening in town when it comes to boxing. Today, these promoters learn from back then, and they know that their fighters are not good enough to come back from a loss. Like,
Exactly, man.
they can't come back from that. And so they're doing everything in their power to avoid these fights that could get them losses in their record, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Or let's say, or they'll just rig it. They'll just rig it.
Yeah. Like, for instance, take the Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury fight. The both of them, but especially the rematch. So what happened there? What happened with Al Heyman? What if you had to take a guess, Fight Scout? What do you think happened that he said, "I'm going to take another risk"? What's the obvious thing that you think came that happened that convinced him to let Wilder fight Fury again? If you had to guess.
Actually, I kind of zoned out there. You're talking about this third one?
Well, the second fight, the rematch. So he fought on the first time. So PBC Al Heyman was known to be kind of stingy in doing business with other people. It's going to say, okay, that's a fight you could have lost on the scorecards. I'm going to risk it again. I'm going to risk that fight of happening again, and you probably coming out on the short end. To me, that's money. It's a lot of money. It's worth the risk. It's obvious, right? So it's like, well, whatever. We'll put a rematch clause, and then I'll cash you out.
Oh, for sure. It's all about cashing them out. But
yeah, that's all.
I never saw the official scorecards, right? So I'm gonna assume that they also had it rigged for a while there, but he just got so fucked up that there was no way they could even give him the cards. But you look at whoever was reffing that fight. Like he deducted a point from Fury because Wilder was about to get knocked out.
Yep.
I was
it was so obvious, man.
Yeah, the referee Kenny Bayless. You can see right after they stopped clinching, there's this one instance. I think it was the fourth round, or one was third or fourth rounds, where Kenny Bayless was trying to set up a 1-2 for Wilder. I don't know if y'all seen that, but
yep, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yep.
Yes.
So, dude, that fight was rigged, and this is why I have hope for.
Wait, hold on. So he was trying to let Wilder set up a 1-2, right? And then Fury came back and did the exact same thing to Wilder. It actually dropped him.
Yeah, that's how trash Wilder is. But I would say this is why I have hope, because fights can be rigged, but sometimes the guy gets his ass beat so fucking bad that
if you look at Wilder's reaction when he got knocked down the first time, he's looking at the ref and saying, "What the fuck are you doing?" He actually he motioned when somebody would say, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Wilder was supposed to.
Yeah, right. You got it. You got it. So obviously, when round 4 or 5, he has no time for reaction. He's actually in deep trouble, and he understands what's happening to him. And so he went in there. This is just my belief. He went in there thinking that he was going to win, and then Fury's just beating him up. He's like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Yeah, but with Wilder, right? So Heyman can tell him to do this, but some of the fighters can just choose their own path, right? Especially when he was trying to make it 50-50, right, with AJ, when it was really a 60-40 fight, when we're talking about the money split, right? So he obviously took his chances with Fury, but the thing with Wilder was like, he's like, I got this. I knocked him the right. So I knocked him out the first time, is what he's claiming. I'll do it the second time. So, Heyman, when you hear about, he actually loves his fighters like their sons or whatever too. So he's probably thinking, oh yeah, sure, I'll chance it too, if that makes any sense, because he's so confident in Wilder's own confidence
Right,
that
like
he lets him
Wilder's
take the
telling him,
fight.
Al, I could take this dude. Trust me, I got him.
Yeah, because he's looking for a bigger payday, but obviously that he got his ass whooped.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, that's why y'all gotta have hope, man. That this Free Wilder rematch shit, man. It doesn't give y'all hope for Usyk AJ. Usyk might just be too much for AJ, man.
That
I
fight
don't
is
know. It's just
rigged.
me.
I tell you right now, that fight is rigged.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
but
So
Usyk
here,
might have it though. Usyk might come
here's
out
the
on
thing,
top.
though, right? So consensus means almost everybody is in agreement is that Usyk is the better boxer. Okay,
Yep.
so why can't he win on the cards just by outboxing Usyk or AJ?
Yeah, because they agree. Everybody's actually saying the fight's rigged, but they can't actually say, "Nah, I'm not gonna." You still got to give him credit because AJ Usyk knows the deal. It's like that's not how you score a boxing fight.
Yeah, because Usyk knows the deal. It's like, no,
Yeah,
it's still a rigged fight.
still a rigged fight though. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean we've
So
seen fights.
basically,
Yeah,
what
there.
you have to bank on is, can Usyk pull off the knockout,
Right.
even though the chances are very slim, right? And then you look at the other side. What is the other side? The other side knows that he's not going to get the decision. So what do they also have to do to make sure AJ doesn't get knocked out? Put in a shitty referee,
Yep.
right?
Put in the shitty referee. Control the drug testing. It's a lot of things to do.
Yeah, a
So
lot.
are y'all gonna watch the fight or no? Or just
Oh, I'll watch
Yeah,
it.
I mean,
Maybe,
skip it?
maybe.
I'll probably watch it. Just because I'm interested in seeing what happens and what fucked up thing happens. Because yeah, like there's gonna be people that ignore it, and there's gonna be people that point it out. And the ones that point it out are
Okay.
gonna be accused of being racist or whatever. Reverse LDBC, whatever. I don't care.
So you guys think Usyk winning a decision is completely out the window? That's what y'all think, right?
No, I'm not saying. Well, look,
That's not what we're thinking. That's what everybody is saying.
that's what everybody
Okay,
is saying,
okay,
right? Like I don't
okay.
know. Maybe he goes in there and he wins convincingly, and it's a bit competitive, and they just say, "Man, I can't give it to AJ," right? I don't
Yeah,
know
that
that.
because
Now,
that has happened.
if I had to bet money on it, yeah, I would bet that even if Usyk wins, it goes 12 rounds, and he won the majority of the rounds, that Usyk is going to get the win. I'm going to go with that. Yeah, I'm just basing it on what's happened in the past.
Yeah, rigged fights are there, and you have to be a dumbass to not think that everything's gonna be sided with AJ. AJ's gonna have all the benefits, but there has been fights in the past where a fighter has all the benefits, everything on his side, and he just loses too convincingly. Like his opponent wins too
Fury
convincingly to
Wilder
the point.
too.
Yeah, Water too. Even Fury. Look up Fury Klitschko. Even that, like obviously everybody wanted Klitschko to win. Everybody was on Klitschko's side, but Fury just beat him too convincingly. They just couldn't give it to him. And I think Usyk AJ, that could be it. I think Usyk could beat AJ in a decision where Usyk's gonna beat him so bad that you just can't rig it. That's
No,
just
but
me.
because you're new to boxing, look up Lucian Butte versus who was that dude that he fought? What was his name again?
I
I don't know how
Labrito,
to do it. I
Labrito
got a good.
Andrade, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Andrade,
Andrade.
Yep.
So look
I
up.
got a good. Yeah.
No. So listen, Butte versus Andrade, right? So type it in, look it up, dude. Andrade or Butte gets knocked out. He's out cold. The referee gives him like a minute or something to recover.
Fucking like 30 seconds, dude.
It's crazy,
I
man.
have to
He
look this
gave him
up.
literally 30. Yo, it was insane, bro. I don't know what the fuck that was. I
It
just
was
thought
rigged, man.
Butte was knocked out. That's why I was like, oh, he's done.
He was knocked out.
Next thing you know, he's the referee is like, I'm like, what the fuck is the ref doing?
Yeah, he saved him.
He saved him. You ever seen Nordic Warriors theory about what happened with Butte and Frach?
Mm-hmm.
He thinks it's like his hands were loaded.
Yep.
Yep.
Because he never took his gloves off.
Yep. Some shit like that. Yep.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, so everybody could get fucked over. I mean, they could give you the benefit of the doubt in one fight, but then in the next fight, and I think that's what Precise was alluding to with the Valdez situation, where they let him get away with the the failed drug test, so that his next fight would, what I guess he's assuming would be Shakur Stevens, right? And Shakur Stevens beats Jamel Herring. I mean, that's pretty much what they want. It's probably going to happen. And so they'll drug test the shit out of him where he won't. He looks small. I don't know, but maybe he just looks small compared to the Brazilian guy. But he already looked like they were drug testing him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but Precise was absolutely right.
Yeah.
Because they let Oscar win anyways, despite all of the backlash. They let him fight. They even let him win. They even covering it as if he won. Right? So like Precise is just absolutely right.
Yep. Yeah. When you see the corruption that's happened, as long as a lot of a lot of guys our age seen them, these things are very predictable. You know, they may not exactly happen in the every detail one might explain thinks is going to happen, but it always turns out with the same outcome. And so don't be surprised somewhere next year in 2022, Valdez is fighting Shakur Stevens, and Valdez is just a dead man in that ring. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, look how fucking big look how big the Stevens dude is, man.
Yeah, he's huge, man. He took a
pick with that guy, Regis Progress. He was bigger than him. Regis is at 140.
Yeah.
Some crazy ass shit.
You remember when
just moved up.
You remember when I told you that I walked by Terrence Crawford? And I said he's a small dude, right?
Yeah. Yep.
The guy standing next to him was Stevens, and he was taller and bigger than Crawford.
Yeah.
It looked like he was just as big, right? And then like I didn't even fucking notice. But I remember like my older brother sized up Crawford. He's like, this dude's not 147. He's like fucking 180, right? And then we walked by, and then like my little brother, he walks around like 126, right? Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a small dude. He looks at Stevens and he's like, dude, that fucking dude was like a middleweight. Because he's an idiot, right? So he thinks these guys fight at their walk around weight.
Right, he wouldn't. Right, gotcha.
So he's 126. He knows all the fighters at 126 because he likes the guys that are like his own size, right? Or what he thinks would be his own size. So he walks past him. He's like, dude, this guy's fucking huge. He's definitely not 126 pounds.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, but anybody could have told you how these guys cut weight if you actually watched all this, other sports. But he was like, he couldn't let it go that night. Like, I was just like, dude, that kid's a fucking nobody. I don't even know who that is. But
Yes, Stevens is just like you look at that picture of him in pro grade, and he looks a little bit bigger.
Look at the one with
Yeah,
him
man.
next to Crawford.
That's a crazy pick. You're like, damn, bro.
And so this guy is a weight that all, and that's what American boxing has turned to. It's a bunch of weight bullies, and they could barely still win the fight.
Yeah, there's way bullies at this pot shot all day, like Shakur
Yeah,
I
does.
mean, they do that in wrestling too.
yeah.
So I knew
it's
a dude
cool.
who wrestled at his literal walk around weight, right? Which is not what you're supposed to do if you want to be a state champion.
Right.
So he goes and he's wrestling in state, right? And then he's going up against a guy who looks like he's like 20 pounds heavier, just fucking just dead, you know?
Mhm.
But he's obviously like way stronger and way bigger. So it's just like, regardless of, you know, the weight cut, like he was beating the dudes that were naturally smaller.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna weight bully, at least fight like Jared Hurd when he was in 2018. At least fight like
Yeah,
that.
just run them over.
Weight bully.
Yeah.
But come on, don't fucking pot shot if you're a weight bully. Come on.
Well, that's what they do, right? That's the Mayweather
That's
way.
crazy.
So Mayweather does basically, at least with Pacquiao, in a fight. I thought he lost. Mayweather lost that fight, but that's what he did. He just gained all that weight to basically just survive the fight and win on the scorecards.
Yeah, but like his career, he was never really the he was always around like the perfect weight for his fight weight, right? Because I'm
Yeah.
gonna assume that he saw his uncle Roger go through all that kidney shit, right?
Yep.
From cutting too much weight, so it looked like he was fighting pretty close to his walk around weight.
Yep, he was for a long time in his career. So the
Yeah,
weight that
so-
he would put on was artificial, right? It wasn't like his.
Exactly.
It wasn't even really his walk around weight.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
So he would use that to get big, especially with the Pacquiao fight, right? So here's what you got to people don't understand. So you look at Mayweather, you look at Pacquiao in the ring. Pacquiao showed his next day weigh-in, which was about, I think, 150 or 152.
Yeah.
So you look at Mayweather, who said that he came in that night at 149, and you say, nah.
Yeah,
You
no
wasn't-
way, man.
Because you look like about 10, anywhere from 10 to 12 pounds heavier than him.
Probably even more.
Probably more, yeah.
But it's like Pacquiao.
That's not his walk-around rate, though.
They've always said that Pacquiao jumped on the scales with all his clothes on, anyways.
Yeah. Basically, that's what he did.
Yeah, so it's like he didn't really add on any weight.
No.
Or he didn't really rehydrate or need to, is what I'm saying.
No, you didn't have to.
Yeah, but I mean, for Floyd to say that he was lighter than Pacquiao, it's like people aren't that stupid and blind.
Oh, I'm gonna disagree with you a little bit there, because I've heard a lot of people say, dude, he was 149 on the night of the fight. How do you know that? Because he said so. Dude, he was at least 160 on fight night, if not more. But like 165.
Yeah, man.
And he basically put on that artificial weight just to survive the
Pretty
and he
much.
still ended up running anyway. It's not like he stood there to trade with him and box with him. No, he still just ran and ducked way below the belt when he got caught up in corners. Like people was like, oh, he took away. He didn't let Pacquiao cut off the ring. Like, yeah, he did. Actually, he did.
Yeah, he made that ring real small for Mayweather, man.
Huh.
He made that extra big ring extra small for Mayweather, and people are saying that he didn't cut off the ring. And it's like, okay, what punches did Mayweather land? Nothing, right?
That's what I said. So I tell them, what punches did he land that you would say he schooled him? Because right when you say schooling, it should be easy. Nah, man, it's like what he did was he made a miss, and then he would like pop shot him. Like, oh, you pop shot him. So he didn't school him.
Yeah, shit didn't even like. They just start making up stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Like, okay, put on the tape. Let's see what happened.
He won because he didn't get knocked out.
Pretty
Basically.
much.
Yeah,
Pretty
but that's a consensus thing, right? So the thing was that Pacquiao couldn't outbox Mayweather, so he was never going to win on the cards. That's what it said, right? But what actually happened? Pacquiao outboxed Mayweather. You know?
Just about every round too.
Yep.
Yeah.
You could arguably say that he won at least 9 rounds if you just score it from the boxing criteria. And that's some made up shit.
Yeah, at least 9.
Yep.
Saying that he didn't lose any less than that.
You know, I
But
think
I mean,
told you the story, right? Fight Scout. So I'm like watching the fight. And we went to my brother's house. I was in Florida at that time. And still am. But anyway, so we go to his house and they invite some friends over, and it's like some young people also coming over, younger than us. And like a lot of them are like, you know, there's these girls, kind of cute girls too. And they're listening to like 1 or 2 people. Oh, Mayweather's doing exactly what he wants to do, right? And they're like, which is what? Like, I don't understand how he's the best fighter ever. He's just running.
That's what they were saying. Why is he just running?
And they're like, nah, you don't understand. They're like, no. I'm like, actually, she does understand.
So fucking
take-
girls know
Yeah.
what a fight is because they've usually had a guy fight for them
Oh,
and they'll fucking watch.
exactly. They went to high school and watched fights all the time.
Yeah, man. Let's watch some fucking guy fight over a girl, right? She never saw a dude fucking run away.
The guy running away never is declared the winner. So
Yeah.
that's their mindset. And that's basically what it is, you know? It is what it is.
You go to a
Yeah,
street
but
fight and a guy's running, everybody, the whole crowd is like
LDBC
calling him a
believes he
bitch.
win.
Yeah, but you have to reimagine scoring.
Reimagine. Have you guys heard that new saying? Reimagine.
You got to reimagine scoring, just like El Dog. Where did he jump off to?
I don't know, but like I don't know if it was I think it was El Dog or a few other people. So they're talking about the Ugas Pacquiao fight, right? How it looks shady, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's some shady stuff gonna happen and they're gonna rob Pacquiao. So they actually robbed Pacquiao, and they're like, nah, he lost the fight. It's like, no, exactly what you were saying happened. You know,
But
what you said before
it's
the
always
fight.
like he's just always saying like, that's not the scoring criteria. That's not the scoring. Okay, what's the criteria then? Explain it so I can. Why don't you explain it in full detail so I can disprove it to you? But you know, he knows. He knows we'll disprove it to him like immediately, so he won't ever say what it is that he's thinking, right? It's like that Token Lives Matter kid where he just beat around the bush and then he just said, "Oh man, my comeback was just fucking crazy. I destroyed you."
But his comeback is always cope, ethnic midget, and basically that's it, right? Like it's cope and ethnic midget.
Yeah, so he's like, or
Then,
he'll
I
say the
schooled
exact
you.
same thing back and be like, "Oh, I destroyed you."
Right. So it's like at the end of the argument, it's like I destroyed you. I'm like, and I'm like screenshotting his literal words. I'm like, you school somebody with this cope, ethnic midget, this, that, you know, like it's just like one word, and you feel like you school someone. That's how they do. That's how they score boxing, man. That's exactly how they do it.
Exactly. That is how they do it with boxing too.
And I landed one nice punch. Not even one nice punch.
In the Discord, you saw how I edited that video of the guy getting beat up. Triple JJJ says that looks fake.
No, it's real.
Like, no, it's real.
It's real. He's really annoying, blue collar. Salute, bro. That guy is really fucking annoying. It's like cope, ethnic. Then like he doesn't even put like ethnic midget in one text. He'll put ethnic and then midget.
Yeah, but he'll put like Indian or something. And if he knows anything about women right now, they love Indian people. They like the complexion, they like the hair, they like the I don't know
Probably
what it
pulling
is.
more girls than him for sure. I guarantee.
Yeah, but it's like I wouldn't know because I'm a dude, right?
Yeah, I don't.
Does that make sense? Like,
no, absolutely.
I
Like,
don't
for
know
instance,
where
I'll
they
give you-
fall. I don't know where
I-
they fall. Like in the attractiveness, you would
I'll give
have
you an
to ask a
example.
girl.
Like, I had a friend, Puerto Rican guy, but he's that Indian type, right? Because Puerto Rican is not going to explain your race.
Mhm.
So you have to actually you have to give the description of the person that's saying he's Puerto Rican, but this kid looked Indian, right?
Yep.
And he, and dude, like all girls liked him. That was the thing. So the black girls will like him because he's dark skinned, but he's got nice hair, right? And the Spanish girls will like him because he's kind of different, but he speaks their language. And then, of course,
apparently they got nice skin and they got a good complexion, but they also kind of look white too.
Right, exactly.
As
What's
my
up,
sister
Anderson?
told me, so
yeah, no, I definitely know what you're talking about. I've seen a lot of Indian guys get complimented by girls. I've seen that a lot.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like I'll be hanging out with some people. Oh, that Indian guy was fucking hot. I'm like, wait, what? All I did was just smell like fucking curry or something. Like, that's all I got from that. He smelled funny, man.
Anyway,
He had a very strong odor. I'm not saying it was a bad smell, but it was just very strong. But it's like you're dissing these guys, but it's like, right? So he's sitting there rating guys, but he's also rating himself over other guys. Like, that's not the standard here. The standard is that we rate you.
Right. So
you know what I'm saying?
If you're gonna like diss every person, then you got to rate you got to let other people rate you.
Yeah, but he'll rate himself. But it's
then
this kid.
I saw him and I was like, dude, you're like an average 5, maybe, if not less than that. And I don't have to be gay. It's just like you don't look anything special. You just look like a dude who spends way too much time on the computer instead of getting to know people and come up with your own conclusion. He's watching videos to defeat his like reality. His reality.
He'll post them up on the Discord, and it's like, no one's gonna watch your video, dude. Like, I'll just respond to
that kid. That kid was just to live his life like away from watching stupid videos of black pills. He probably does well with the ladies in terms of just developing a personality. So,
oh yeah, for sure.
It's all about
all you have to do is just say hi, right?
Yeah.
Hi, how are you doing? And they walk away. Then you're like, oh, okay, whatever, then, bitch. But if they say, oh, hi, back, then you just carry on the conversation. But this kid, if he says hi and they walk away, then he's just destroyed.
He starts coming
like,
up
you didn't
with,
fucking even know this lady,
Then he starts coming up with, well, the genetic lottery didn't quite fall on my side all the way. So then why are you rating other people?
Exactly.
So you could admit, because he said that. Well, I mean, I didn't win the total genetic lottery. Okay, stop right there then. Just don't continue. By your own admission, you're saying you don't think that, genetically you came out a 10, right? You came out like maybe, a 5 or a 4.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You don't get to rate yourself, man.
Right. That's what I'm saying. But he's doing that compared to like, he's picking the weakest person and he's like, well, I'm better looking than that guy.
Yeah, according to who, right?
Right, and then that guy ends up turning out to get more girls than he does.
So he goes, "Let's take a picture of our shirts off, and we'll rate each." I'm like, I'm not doing that, man.
Hey, dude, I don't trust you with a picture of me anyway, so I don't trust that.
Yeah, especially if you're going to be rating me. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, that's weird.
I might be fat as shit, but it's like you're still gonna jerk off to it.
Yeah, he probably does, man.
Yeah, man.
Like we don't know who these people are that just jump on like a Discord or whatever, and they're like, oh, I bet you don't look better than me. Maybe that's all part of their game, so you could send them pictures and they could just like fucking beat off to it. Who knows?
Listen, man. If it's in person, we take both our shirts off, right? He take his shirt off. He's skinny. I take my shirt off. I'm fat. I'm rubbing my belly to make the girl laugh, right?
Exactly.
It doesn't guarantee that she's gonna go with him just because he's skinny. If I'm fucking making fun, or if I'm doing something, to impress her. You know what I'm saying?
He thinks that literally because in his mind he sees himself better looking than some other guy, that he doesn't have to say one word. The girl's just going to automatically walk to him. So when it doesn't happen, he starts looking for a new reason why. Oh, well, that girl's she's a lesbian. She's intimidated by guys like me. It's like, no, you're
exactly.
a weirdo.
Exactly.
You're a weirdo. She just sees you there, just like not saying anything. You just have this blank expression on your face versus
with
the other guy.
Off.
Yeah.
Like I would take my shirt off, I would be fucking laughing, and I'd be smacking my belly, right?
Dude, you literally have to be like fucking Vladimir Klitschko or Arnold Schwarzenegger or maybe even AJ to just sit there with your shirt off and not say a fucking word. Like not say one word.
Exactly, man.
And then the girls will come, but he's not even close to that. He's more like, like Bart Simpson, right? And I'm just gonna take my shirt off because I think I'm better looking than this other guy.
Yeah, let's just take off our shirts. It's like, man, are you dumb?
Black pill is the cope for being gay. That's what it sounds like, right?
For sure.
And you see this a lot on YouTube, right? So you'll see these guys who are constantly like denigrating women, but like propping up other dudes, and you're like, well, that's
so that comment that popped up, it didn't pop up on the YouTube, so I didn't see it. Right?
Oh, you
because I got two screens open. One is the YouTube, and then one is the StreamYard.
Oh yeah,
so,
gotcha.
Yeah, that last one didn't pop up on the YouTube. But he's absolutely right.
Yeah. I would see that a lot growing up in my days, like dudes that have been in jail plenty of times, like they had girlfriends or whatever, but the girl obviously left them or fucked another guy. And they'll be like, these women, they're sluts, this and this and that. But like hugging on other dudes, that's my boy. I'm like, damn, I think he's just turned gay. Yeah, like what other conclusion would you give somebody, right? You wasn't like that until you came out of prison. And you're like, now women are bitches ain't shit, but you hang out with a bunch of guys and they're your boys and you guys are like all hugging each other, fist pound.
I don't know, man. I've never seen that. But yeah, it sounds like a community thing.
Well, it's like that.
If you understand what I mean by community.
Gay community, yeah. It's like that MGTOW, right? Where they want to kind of like just leave girls all together. And it's
that's kind of true though. So like I don't ever plan on getting married or having kids, right?
But you like you're not gonna you're not gonna like cut yourself off from sex completely,
I'm
right?
not gonna just completely cut off anything.
Yeah, so MGTOW always existed. That's what I'm saying. It always existed basically then. Because I know plenty of people, I used to be like that for a little while, where I was like, I'm just cool with just banging chicks.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in a relationship with them.
But I mean, when you do see someone who runs away with everything, you're like, what the fuck? Also, right? So
Yeah.
I'll give you a situation. My uncle was married to a stewardess, right? And she was fucking everybody.
Oh
But
yeah.
at the same time, he was like he was being like, he was such a control freak, right? Like a workaholic control freak. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you have to be this weight, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this. And then finally she just said, fuck it, and just took everything he had, too. But at the same time, like, he was worth, like, obviously over $1 million, right? So, from hard work, right? Because he was a workaholic. Like, he literally only slept like 4 hours a day, basically.
Damn.
Right, so she took everything or whatever, but as soon as she got everything, in terms of money and property and all the ownings and possessions, right? She took all the money and basically spent it all in like one summer. You're
Yeah.
talking about like a life fucking savings, right? And within like 2 years, it's all gone.
She didn't know what to. She didn't know what to do with that money. She
Yeah,
went
she
crazy.
didn't know how to fucking handle it. But it's like, if you were to learn from that situation, you would let your new wife try to handle the money herself too, right? So you don't get, you don't get fucking screwed over again.
I would have never dated a stewardess myself.
Yeah, that's a dangerous job, right? For like
To
what I mean
marry
by
one like a
that,
Lopez,
They're
Teofimo
all over the
Lopez.
place, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
they work with
But
guys who
I know a
travel.
few stewardesses.
They
But
they
again, she blew all the money. She took her kids on vacation to Europe, all over Europe, spent it like all. And then when it was gone, she
freaked out.
wanted more, you know? And it's like, how do you want more when you took everything?
Yeah, you can't
So
take more.
now he was watching his former wife go from being a millionaire to going back and living in the ghetto in fucking 1 year.
Damn, how do you fuck that up?
Yeah, dude, that's messed up, right?
Like,
And then
trust me, I've blown money, but not to that extent. Like I
but
sit back.
here's the thing though, she thought he was gonna keep breaking in money for her.
Yep.
Does that make any sense?
Yep. She does.
So it's like, no, you got cut off right here. You can take everything before that, but moving forward from this point, you get nothing.
Yep.
Right? But she still wanted something. So she wanted him to sign over his retirement money for her. And he said, no, I'm not going to fucking do that. And you want to know how she did that? She made her kids go up to the dad, to go sign his fucking life away, right?
What a fucking slut, bro. Oh my god.
Yeah, dude. And he's like, no, I can't do that. I can't do that.
So I know a guy who's from North Dakota originally, but he spent most of his prime years in Minnesota, right?
Mhm.
So cool guy. Obviously, he comes to New York. That's how I meet him. And so he was married to this lady. This lady was like a bodybuilder, right? It was weird, but she was kind of pretty in the face. Not a girl that I would be interested in, but like body wise, because she's like fucking muscle bound. I'll see her in the gym all the fucking time, working out. The guy that I know that she was married to, is a big, strong guy himself, right? But he's just like kind of normal, not ridiculously big. Let's say when I met him, he was in his late 40s, right? This guy would be now early 60s.
Yeah.
And she was about maybe late 30s.
And anyway, they were married. They met in Minnesota, and they came to New York because of his job or whatever, and they're living the nice life. Anyway, she wants to divorce him because she's like cheating on him with like all these muscle bound guys at the gym, right? One guy actually knew, and it felt weird. Like I just stopped going to that gym because I knew her husband, and I don't even want to get caught up in any of that stuff. Right? I don't want nobody to know that I know. So anyway, she like fucking wants to divorce with him. Don't get me wrong, the guy. Well, I explain it to you now. So she wants to take everything from him, right?
Yep.
And so, basically 50%, which I think she got, or it was like close to it. It was like a settlement that kind of he told me, he said, "This is gonna fuck me up for a little while, but I'll be okay. You know, I think I'll be fine."
Yep.
So anyway, the reason why she did that was because look, he knew he wasn't stupid. He just acts like he doesn't know what's going on. He goes to that same gym. People were telling him, like, yo, she's banging that dude. She took him to the Bahamas and she pays like his cell phone bill also that he could fuck her on the side, you know?
Yeah.
And so
where's Token for him to hear this story, right?
the Token's dumb, bro.
But yeah.
He wouldn't get it. He'll be like, well, there must be some genetic failure. I'm like, actually, if you saw the guy, you're the genetic failure compared to him. You're Sub-Zero. The guy that I'm talking about that was being cheated on, right?
Yeah.
So one day we're talking, and I was like, man, you know, he's telling me about her. Like at this point, he's talking to me about the stuff that's going on with her.
Yeah, we should probably just end the show and then
yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Whoever
now.
wants to jump on and then
I'm gonna
talk some shit.
I'm gonna actually end this. Peace to the chat, man. Salute to everybody.
Yep. See you guys later, man.